The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Hello there, my little sunny boys, girls, and everything in between and outside of that. Welcome to Sunset City, the podcast for the modern and the classic age. With me today, we have a cranky old man, Nick. As well as that, a disgusting e-girl, Suris.
Hey, how's it going?
And my little ray of sunshine, Wayne.
I'm Wayne.
And today, we're going to be going through some historical designs for Sonic the Hedgehog throughout the ages, and just discussing the way their appearances were in renders and such. And yeah, so someone take it from here because I'm flagging.
That's
no worries.
understandable.
So, basically a big discussion between a lot of Sonic fans is just the various designs of Sonic, and I'm of the opinion, I think, I don't want to speak for Wayne. I think there's not too much in terms of variation. I mean, I personally don't care that much about it, but still, as someone who likes to design things, it is fun to kind of nitpick and look at the nuance and really just kind of appreciate just how subtle these differences are through the years. And I figured Pup actually came with the idea, like, let's just take a look at some like the main core designs through the games. Just kind of talk about it, maybe talk about some variations in that era from some of the satellite material. And at the end of this, I guess we're going to rank these.
Or just during it. We're all going to have very different rankings, though.
Oh, so I guess we could do that. I was also thinking what we could do is we could just kind of list off our rankings and just kind of like explain ourselves along the way. And just kind of start from the bottom going up, just so we can make people hate us first, and then try to make excuses before we get to the ones we like.
That sounds like they get messy, man.
I mean,
Exactly.
we could either do it chronologically and just discuss them and then maybe rank them at the end. Or what we could do is go around the table and be like, okay, this is my number 10, Nick's number 10, Suris' number 10, Wayne's number 10, and then kind of go around. It's completely up to you guys.
I'd say chronological.
I think
Chronological.
chronological. I think chronological.
All right, then that begins us at our starting point, which is the original Japanese design for classic Sonic.
So I've actually got him right up here on screen for anybody, just in case somebody needs a refresher for like which ones are which, because they're all so distinct in very small ways, especially in the early days. So we got our design up here for everybody who potentially needs that visual aid.
Sorry, all of our audio listeners.
Yeah, we can't feed that directly into your brain meats, but we'll try.
Describe it a little bit. It looks like Sonic, but in Japanese. Okay, so
yeah,
my
this
God.
is what they finalized. They had a lot of stuff leading up to this point, as we've seen with concept art and everything along those lines. But this is basically the Sonic that showed up on that first box art. I think the only difference is he had a little bit more of a hedgehog like design to him. Like there wasn't that crease between his little ball body and his head.
yeah, in the first one there was he was a bit more sporadic with I guess the quills.
rotund.
Well, it just his spine's kind of connected all the way down like it would like an actual hedgehog, instead of that distinct line where his neck would be.
We're already like making a secondary. We're already making a distinction.
Now we're talking about small differences again. Woo!
It is on a whole though the same design by and large, just tweaked. But yeah, so I would go ahead and say that this design is timeless, and it is kind of proven as well by I think the Sonic Mania artwork as well. They resurrected this, and I think no one ever looked at it and thought, yeah, that's dated or that's a throwback. Like, no, that's
It's
Sonic,
just Sonic.
and it still looks good today.
This is I've talked about it for years on my damn show, but yeah, this is this interesting, unique mixture of like the timeless classic cartoon character, Felix the Cat, Mickey Mouse, but actually just kind of spicing up. It really feels like the best way I could describe it when I think about it is like, and I know a lot of you guys aren't 90s kids, but like when they made the biggest damn deal out of bringing in blue Skittles or blue M&Ms or blue Fruit Loops. Like, hey, look at these are just regular things, but here's the blue one. And that's kind of what it felt like with classic cartoons. Like, here's all of them, but here's this. It's kind of what you know, but now it's in blue.
It's like when you.
And that's what I got from Sonic. It's that color really, and the shape of the quills too. Just really, those simple little things just make him stand out. Make him, feel like a little bit of a time or like a 90s relic. But when you mix in those classic elements of classic cartoons, you get something wholly unique and timeless. I really, I just love the design out of the gate.
So I think with this one, it also lays down the fundamentals of the Sonic design. So I guess we should talk a little bit about the fundamentals, so kind of the basics of how his spikes are, the noodly arms and legs, the red shoes, and stuff like that.
The idea with a lot of the limbs here is that it's got it looks like a Mickey Mouse cartoon, but it also looks like a character that can engage in locomotion. And that's kind of what you want. Like when you look at this character, you don't want to see him just standing still and posing. You want to see him go. Like, those legs, while they're very, very small, they're very noodly. You know that this is a character that's going to... You look at him and you go, hey, he's probably going to run. Like, he's got running shoes. He's got kind of he's stout, but he's also kind of got the build for it. He looks aerodynamic. And that's kind of perfect for what Sonic's character was supposed to be in the beginning, because they had to describe with design what this character was going to be before people knew what the fuck a Sonic was.
Well, what I like about this specifically is those aren't running shoes. Those are like dancing shoes, tap dancing shoes. They don't look like running shoes. But the streamlined design, like his quills and the color of the shoes, the emphasis of those shoes when you compare it to the rest of the design, you got these, that cool blue, but this bright, strong red at the bottom there. It lets you know there's an emphasis on the feet. Those quills are pointing backward. He probably is quick, even if those aren't exactly running shoes. We don't have those ridiculously over-designed prime shoes. It doesn't need to do any of that. The colors tell you everything you need to know.
Going by this render here, if I didn't know better and I saw this, I would say bowling is his thing, because He's got bowling shoes on, and he's got 3 fingers ready to stick those in the ball holes. Like he's ready to go.
Ball holes.
I don't know what
Oh.
bowling ball holes are called. Okay.
Oh my god, I was gonna say insertion points, but that gets a little bad.
Suris, you know what, man? You're a bowling ball hole.
Oh god. So I do have a question though. What's everybody's rank for this Sonic and why? Because like we've got kind of the basics
Let's
of
get to the end. What are you
You know,
doing?
do the ranking at the end. We'll do them in an order,
Okay.
and then we'll kind of go around the table. Like basically what I suggested earlier, but like we're basically just doing it at the end.
Okay.
Also, super chats, we should read them out between Sonics. So, like, we've got
Yeah.
one already. Has everyone said all that they want to say about this? Wayne, we haven't heard much from you, mate. What's going on? What's the matter? You sick?
I never know when to cut in. I mean, I like this design. It's classic. It's very poppy, and it's got that glint of like the Japanese twist on the Mickey Mouse or Felix the Cat sort of design, where
Yeah.
it, you know, was Felix the Cat American or Japanese?
Felix
American.
American. believes American.
Is that American? I want to say it was American. Yeah. I mean, it's just got all the little things that just work. The primary colors stand out really nicely. The white for the gloves and those like socks. It stands out, but it's not too loud. Like it's easy on the eyes, but it's noticeable. And yeah, I think I like this design a lot. It was later trumped by a similar design that I think perfected this, but we'll get to that later.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay, we all happy with our thoughts on Japanese Sonic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a super chat from Sony, or Sony, sends $2.79 in Californian dollars and says Boom Sonic is the best one with glasses, smiley. That's not Canadian, is it? Canadian. Canadian.
Canadian?
sorry.
Canadian.
Canadian.
Californian Canadian. Okay.
New
yeah,
California
so
Republic dollars.
more on Boom Sonic later, but like yeah, keep your ears peeled. That's what I'll say there.
Keep your ears peeled. I don't want to peel my ears. That sounds painful.
So next up, while Suris is wasting time, is the Greg Martin USA Classic Sonic. What do we think of this one, guys?
I
like this purely out of nostalgia, and that is literally it. I did not like this as a kid when I knew the Japanese one existed as well.
when I was a kid, I hated this thing. I couldn't. As much as I loved the Saturday morning cartoon, every single time that Sonic like turned his head and you could see just like the thin mohawk with the bald looking head. Every single time that happened, I was just like, no, this is wrong, and this feels wrong to me. I hate it.
So
Ugh.
my opinions of this one have really, really changed over the years. Like there was a time when I just thought this is irrelevant, it's unnecessary. The Japanese design just translates perfectly fine. But like I've warmed up to it a lot. And like I think as far as practicalities go, yeah, this thing is not designed to be a 3D character or anything like that. It's just designed purely for these box art renders and stuff like that. And yeah, I do agree it works better like without a mohawk. But then again, I look at this art style and look at this design. I couldn't imagine it with any other hairstyle. Like we've seen kind of hybridy looks on like I think the Game Gear version of Spinball, and it doesn't really work. I think the mohawk works here. Like it's got that 90s sensibility. And like with Sonic's character, you can kind of imagine him rocking a mohawk. Like it's very much in line with the character. I really like the sort of cheeky attitude you can see on his face as well. That looks good too.
Well, that's
I love this design.
I was gonna say that's kind of a thing between a lot of like American and Japanese designs of the time. You can see that with Kirby and a lot of other characters, where like the Japanese version would look a little more cutesy, and the American version would always have like more of a tilt, more of an attitude to it. I like the more attitude that's on the character, but I also just that mohawk. I've never been able to unsee, whether it was when reading certain panels of the Archie comic or certain times where Sonic would tilt his head in animation. Every single time that I got to see like the one Like the 1-inch line of the mohawk, it's always just hit this weird, uncanny part of me that I just do not like.
See, I also just love the airbrush look of this as well, and like the fact that his ears look like pig ears. Like, it's cute.
What about you, Wayne?
Okay, so not one of my favorite looks for Sonic. I think so like I was saying, there's another design that I think perfected the classic Japanese like original look for Sonic. And I like the attitude with this model. I don't know if it's just the render here or what. But the proportions feel very off. I don't like his little squat. I don't like that he looks like more of an egg than Eggman does. It's like it feels like it had the right idea, but it got confused along the way.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I agree with that.
I mean, I've said before on the show, I'll say it now. I really think I need to just do a video about Greg Martin in general. I don't really. I know a lot of people like to pin the blame on him, but like we've seen him do like Japanese style Sonic, and it turns out pretty nicely. For this guy, like you can tell, like this is based off the sprite more than it is the official artwork. I think this Sonic is actually a little bit more true to what we see in terms of the Sonic 1 actual sprite.
That's fair.
I mean, his shoes are flat. He's got a very round head. And yeah, like it's just I can't disassociate this Sonic from good memories. So it's always going to mean a lot to me, even when in my brain I know better. Like this is not what Sonic should be. But I do appreciate like the ideas they were going for. Just in terms of the mohawk, it is more of a hairstyle than it is just quills because it's the 90s, like early 90s. It's like they're getting out of the 80s, so they figured, well, I guess mohawks are cool, right? That feels like a very executive thing from early 90s. What do kids like? I guess they like mohawks or something down with the system. So it's
Well, I always wondered if it was like so you know how Mickey Mouse there was a game they were making, Epic Mickey, where it's like no matter where you turned the camera, his ears would kind of move around with the curvature. And you always kind of had that iconic look, and having the quills kind of separated from the sphere of his head like that, I always wondered if that it was more of an attempt at that.
I
If
think
that makes any
should,
sense.
it should work around that logic, I would imagine. Like it wouldn't look right from the back if he just had this like strip. Like
Yeah.
so the next one we're going to talk about actually kind of emphasizes that a little bit in
before
some ways. This one, unfortunately, when you give it into the hands of people who have to make the cartoons and comics, they have to show Sonic in different angles. And when he's that one flat mohawk design, unfortunately, it's not as you can't really play with it as much as you can with like Mickey. I don't think anyway. I mean, I guess unless they made his hair flop over anytime you saw him from the front. But what they would instead do a lot of the time is show him from the front and just show this round just circle with this just shark spike
Line.
up the top of it.
yeah, no, it didn't look good, did it? Like before we finish up though with the Greg Martin Sonic, Suris, would it be cool if you check in our Discord chat and get this one up? It's a piece of fan art by a fellow called Dave's Tunes on Newgrounds, and it was basically an attempt to hybridize the USA and Japanese Sonic, and I think this works much better. I think it's like the perfected version of the Greg Martin design.
I've got it up, and you know what? Because it's a PNG, I can also do something else with this.
You're gonna put him in the jar.
I'm not gonna put him in the jar. Oh my god.
I gotta sit with us.
We don't need to put Sonic in the jar.
I'm just smelling his ears.
We can just put Sonic like you know what? He's behind Wayne. He's
So,
the reason
okay.
Wayne
No.
Anyway,
No.
yeah, I mean, I do like the intense attitude from him, but again, this is more just me thinking about like the sassier Urkel Sonic from back in the day. So I've got good memories with this one. But yeah, I think we can all generally agree. If this was like what Sega wanted to do with the character going forward, like just tomorrow they're like, yo, guess what? Sonic's got a buzzsaw haircut. I think all of us would agree, like, this is a stupid decision, Sega. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But
Let
I
me-
absolutely love this fan render, though. I think
Yeah.
this really, it really brings out the best of the Japanese and the Greg Martin designs. Like, if it was like a toss up between like Japanese Sonic, Greg Martin Sonic, and the hybrid, I'd say the hybrid's my favorite because it's got just everything I love about both designs. I know that not everyone has the same soft spot for Greg Martin Sonic as I do, but like, you know how it is.
Before we go any further, I think it is important because I think we forgot to mention this at the top of the show. We did delay a little bit if anyone who was listening to this was live, so we could all partake in Sonic and Tails R. And we got super chats from two of the heavy hitters of that show. One being our boy Trey.
We love you,
Said,
Trey.
just want to say love y'all and thank you for being there for Sonic and Tails R. It means a lot. Also, Sonic is the best design.
We're kind
Fuck
of
you,
getting,
Trey.
we're
Piece
kind
of
of getting
garbage.
there, though. We're kind of getting there. We will get there.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And Emmy actually stopped by too. Just dropped 20. Damn, thank you, Emmy.
That is
Thank you for
incredibly
joining us.
generous.
Yeah, insanely. Thank you for joining us at Sonic and Tails R. We really appreciate your support, and thank you for always supporting Trey.
It was
Well,
our pleasure.
It
we love
is.
Trey.
We're always happy to babysit your son. But
Don't worry.
Oh, man.
I'll make sure that Trey can get further than Nick and Monster Hunter soon. It'll be fine.
yeah, so if anyone is not aware of what Sonic and Tails R is, it's, I would say, probably one of the most how do I say this? Not,
It
is important,
probably
but it's
one of the most legitimate Sonic fan projects you'll find.
it
with,
really
like-
does
And
feel like it's
I
like
think,
right
I think
on that cusp
ambitious.
there.
Ambitious would probably be the word I would use more than anything.
But
it
it actually
feels-
is able to fulfill its ambition to the fullest as well, with every
Right on the cusp of being Sonic Mania, where it's just like
Yeah.
that middle ground between the community and Sega corporate itself. It's a radio show that is on YouTube. That's on the Emmy channel. How does she say that first part? Is it Emu Emmy? It's Emmy. She does amazing covers, a lot of Sonic music and her own. And of course, as you know, our boy Trey does a lot of great music as well. But yes, Chowmix says, thanks for being here, Chowmix. It's the most official, unofficial fan project of all time. It has a lot of old school Sonic voice actors actually in there, as well as some current ones. And I don't want to spoil any of it, but if you're a fan of the adventure era of Sonic the Hedgehog, these guys are too. And they put their heart and soul into it. Like it injects that style and love that I think a lot of that fan base has desperately been missing. So if you're not partaking in it yet, you really need to go check that out. So there we go. Sorry to interrupt for that long, but I think it's important that if you're part of the Sonic fan base, you kind of see what this project is up to, because it's nuts.
And the latest episode was pretty traumatizing, but pretty fantastic.
Not
Now, we won't spoil it
untrue.
here.
We won't go into details. So the next Sonic
Yeah,
that we
tail.
have is the Toei Sonic. So yeah, let's just get that up on screen.
Okay, so best one. Best Sonic. I'm saying it right now. This is the best look Sonic has ever had, and I have never been pleased or as pleased with the Sonic design as I have been with this one. I kind of also equate the Mania Sonic with basically being the
Yes.
same design.
Yeah, Tyson
Um,
has definitely reprised this. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is so perfect. All the proportions are absolutely stunning. The way his little gloves just kind of like come right off of his little noodles.
Little noodles.
Look, everything is shaped exactly the way it needs to be. Like I was saying with the whole Mickey Mouse thing with his quills earlier, there's some stuff that this art style does with that. When you see him, like the way that his legs just kind of like go into that figure eight style when he starts really revving up. And especially like if you look at the opening to Sonic Mania, he is so expressive without a single word spoken. I feel like he has so much character. You can tell everything that this guy is about just by looking at his little face. He's still got attitude, but he's got a great heart, and that's exactly what I want out of a good Sonic design. This is, to me, perfection.
I've just noticed how round his little ears are on this picture.
Yes.
That's so cute.
It's so
That's
cute.
so cute. Oh my god.
It's also important to note that they are taking that Mickey Mouse idea of the silhouette, because his quills always stay a prominent feature of regardless of what angle you view him in, and yeah, they're gonna change like where they're facing and everything, but it works for Sonic because it has this windswept kind of style to it, and I think that works. He looks like a bit of a scamp. He looks like he's full of energy and ready to go, and we'll get into the modern Sonic designs a little bit. I do think like getting too long with the quills kind of takes away from that a little bit. So I mean that's kind of why I like this design, because they can like push back like when he's going at full speed, or when he's looking upwards, they kind of look like they're blown up a little bit. It's just a really good look regardless of the design, because this is from an animation studio first and foremost. Like they designed this to make him look good in motion, and this being, I mean, it's not the first time we've seen him in animation. I doubt even in like like a Japanese capacity, because we obviously have Adventures of Sonic and everything like that. But man, yeah, like I can tell you, like this really stood out when Sonic CD hit the scene. Like Sonic just never looked better in animation prior to this point.
It was I think of all like the classic Sonic designs, or any Sonic design, I think this one took the most advantage out of its animated medium, in that like the design was very much on model, but it would, like, as noted, like the quills would extend when he's running fast, but you'd notice that they'd always point upwards as well, and kind of to the side of his head, like kind of almost no matter what the camera angle was. They didn't droop, or they didn't have like a curvature.
They always have this like up energy to them, and it's,
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
They're erect, and that's why I really like them.
Right out loud. No, and it looks natural. I think that's the most important thing. That's not something you could pull off with the mohawk. If you just saw Sonic from the front and the mohawks are still off to the side, this is jarring. Would not make any kind of sense. This it makes sense because it looks like quills and it emphasizes speed, and it still looks like a haircut. It's fantastic. And I love about this too, like this is like the one design that's just like it just showed up for a cutscene in the opening of Sonic CD in an obscure classic Sonic game, and it stood out so prominently. Like it emphasizes what classic Sonic was when he returned, outside of that stiff 3D model, when it was given to Christian Whitehead.
He was
This was
thing. He was in the OVA.
I mean that's about as close as we get to it. Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about with like the little nuances there. I would say it's very
not
OVA.
100%. It's not 100% the same design. Like the OVA one, I think, was a little lankier, and he had shorter quills in general.
Yeah,
but, like it was the same overall design model wise, I guess. It's just OVA had a slightly different attitude towards it in the animation process.
Yeah,
but it took the same core ideas of how to animate Sonic. Doesn't animate it quite as well, in my opinion, but it certainly took the lessons from that design. And Christian Whitehead certainly did as well. I think that is what classic Sonic is now. And that was my expectation going forward, was like how Christian Whitehead interpreted the character going forward. This is how we're going to make him different from the modern Sonic. Is this design makes him unique enough from what we have as Sonic, with his longer, and define him as his own character going forward.
I think a lot of that is also to be very much accredited to Tyson Hess as well, because I think he's really
that's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. Yeah, Tyson Hess.
Yeah, I think he's really redefined kind of the art style of the classic Sonic. Like, I feel like once you get to like Mania, like it's a slightly different classic Sonic to the one that we last saw in like Sonic 3, but it's that bit more brash. Like it's like classic Sonic refined. And also just I'm thrilled at the fact that they did take as much care as to reprise the Toei Sonic for that game's animations and stuff. Like they didn't have to. It could have all just been sprite animation for all anyone cared. But like nah, this was great. And it's so nice to see it in such clean HD as well. Like,
Yeah,
seeing-
and I mean, still that Sonic is different from this one, but I mean, this is what we're talking about when we kind of lump some of them together. I think it's safe to say OVA and uh Tyson's current Sonic is probably all the one and the same in terms of overall design purpose.
Yep, and
yeah, same designers. Yeah.
and honestly, I think my favorite part about this design, more than anything, every single time that this Sonic is in motion, every single time we've seen it, whether it's been in the Mania cutscene, whether it's been in Boom, whether we had the more modified version of the OVA, every single time this Sonic is in motion, I just want to see him do stuff. Like, this is a
Yep.
Sonic that looks like he does not want to stand still. And that's one of the best things about simple designs like this, is that you can communicate parts of your character's motivation, parts of your character's personality, without having to actually have the character speak. This is a Sonic who, in all but one of his ways that we've seen him, has not spoken and did not need to.
Yeah, like I just shared, like there's just a character sheet just kind of showing off like a range of expressions with this Sonic. I mean, like, look at that kid. His face is just going everywhere, and it squashes, it stretches, it moves any way it needs to just get an idea across. And like I said, it's just that wordless nature of being able to speak through the character with nothing more than just his design. It's so clean. I love it.
It's
I
tell
do
you
like
what,
that
though,
one of his
right?
side spikes on this head look like a stray hair. It's adorable.
Yeah.
Which also works because you don't expect Sonic to be the type of character to actually sit there and like comb himself. He's like, no, I got
Clean
places to
himself,
be
yeah.
later.
It's very pretty. What were you saying, Pop? I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I tell you what, though, I wouldn't mind the idea of seeing like an animated short with this Sonic where Sonic does have a speaking voice. Like, it would be like the 30th anniversary issue of IDW Sonic.
I got to review that soon. I could not believe how well they defined it. It's just down to a science at this point when you give it to people that love this character. I mean, I think we're seeing that with Sonic and Tails R in terms of like Dreamcast era Sonic and like Ian Flynn and Tyson Hess and all those guys. Like, when they have this character that they grew up with and they love and they have the talent to back it up, like, we see it in full force. And that 30th anniversary comic, oh my god. Like, I could not believe how happy I was reading that.
I would be thrilled if they did like an animated short like that comic, and they managed to get the OVA voice actors back for it. Because when I look at what I've seen of that comic, when I look at the dialogue, I can only read it in the voices of like Martin Burke for Sonic, and
You can, yeah, like I said it when that book came out, was like I dare you to read this without hearing the OVA Sonic, just the way he talks. But it like changes up too, like the one with the I have more and more appreciation every day for the car storyline. It's just chock full of like really deep cut references, and just Sonic just being like just fascinated with like a car. Like, what a weird idea. And that name I don't know, I'm getting off topic there. Man, I don't know. I really Toei Sonic, Junio Sonic, whatever you want to call him. It just distilled the character to what I want him to be. And it also tells me like I am okay with there being two different versions of Sonic the Hedgehog, being two different dimensions. I prefer if it was like a timeline thing, but they're so distinctly different in terms of like how they present their stories and how their own personalities are, that I want to see both of them do their own things at this point. And that's what Junio Sonic does for me in terms of the classic stuff nowadays.
So next up, then, if we're all happy with what we've said for Toei,
Yep, next
is
up we have this dude.
the 90s 3D Sonic. Now, we're not talking the gross Sonic 3D Blast box art version, or at least not that for the whatever region that was in.
That was your region, Pup. That was yours.
I'm not taking the blame.
Wait, you're not taking the blame for the... Oh, okay.
We're not talking about that gross front-on Sonic artwork from Sonic 3D Flicky's Island. We're talking about the kind of the 3D Sonic design that would carry through like Sonic 3 through Sonic R, basically. And this was kind of what they went for a very long period of time. Yeah, so very primitive. What are our thoughts on this?
I don't hate it. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it when it was current. Like when I was playing stuff like 3D Blast as a kid, right? Like, I think the one thought in my head was, at least this doesn't have the mohawk. So
Yeah.
like,
So can you imagine if they'd done that though?
Oh,
It would
Well, I
be
think
nasty.
3D Blast, and Sonic 3 Knuckles and everything, when they started showing off the 3D design of Sonic, I think that's when the American side of things finally just gave it up. So like, look, we're not, we can't keep going with the mohawk, because just out like overnight, it was gone. It was just gone. Like you went issue 12 of Archie Sonic with mohawk, issue 13 just wasn't. It was gone.
just disappeared.
Oh, hey, Suris, for our boy Trey, do you reckon you could get this picture of that Sonic up on screen? That I've put in?
Sure, give me a second. Let me grab. Okay. Yep. Okay. Here, Trey. This is what you wanted, right? This is our promise we made to you.
So in terms of this one, I think this was just like the appeal back in the day was just seeing Sonic in 3D more than anything else. I mean, it's the core design at the end of the day, and they're not really trying to do anything to make him work specifically in 3D. They're just like, look, we did it. We got him into 3D. And that was kind of the appeal back then. It was the same with Mario. It was like, wow, look at that. It's a full 3D model of this character you know and love. And yeah, that's all there really is to it. There's nothing much else I can say about it.
It's like, this was never meant to be the definitive 3D model of Sonic.
This was
It was
just meant
just
to
like-
be a Sonic.
Yeah. Baldy the Hedgehog.
So I guess I'll give my 2 cents on it. I like it. I like it a lot. Like obviously it's aged and it's dated. And I wasn't really present at that era for Sonic. Like I dipped out at Sonic 2. Not by choice or anything. It's just like my parents didn't buy any more Sonic games after that. So I didn't really get to see Sonic's early transition to 3D artwork. One could say it was a little rough, but
I swear to
like
God.
Oh, God.
I do like this design. I think it's a pretty accurate translation of what classic Sonic was at that time. I'd imagine it must have been exciting to see. But yeah, no, it's one that's just aged. It's been surpassed by better 3D Sonic models. It's not on the list of ones we're talking about today, but like there's obviously like Santiago, the modern 3D classic Sonic. God, that is
Santiago the Hedgehog.
Santiago. What on earth was that pronunciation?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But like
Where in the world is Kierman Santiago?
I think Santiago has surpassed this one for definite. Like we don't actually have many 3D iterations of classic Sonic. So it's kind of like a toss-up between this and Santiago. I'm gonna go with Santiago.
All I'm saying
Well-
is Santiago had a rough transition to 3D.
Fuck
Before
off!
we do that, I think it's important to also emphasize what the actual game model looked like. The Suris, if you want to share that, because low poly Sonic is a precious boy, and I will protect him with every last ounce of my life. I don't care. He is precious, and I love him. And he also had like a wildly different design for the Sonic into Dreams model too. But like this was like kind of the core Sonic R, Sonic Jam
Also, just
model.
one thing also to touch on, just because I know it would make Chow Mix really, really happy, was Sonic 3D Blast had some Japanese artwork.
Like the proto adventure style is really cool.
Yeah, the adventure prototype. Now, that's not like we're not treating that as like a overall design. Just want to make a quick cliff note on. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Like,
So
It's-
considering when this dropped, I'm curious. Well, no, I know, Wayne. I know this. I did a whole freaking video about the modern Sonic design. What is wrong with me? Yeah. So this initially showed up I'm gonna get this saved up here. Copy image. Oh no, Pup's on that. Thank you. So that design first showed up in a magazine before anything else, and then I guess they just reused those assets for the Japanese release, because the Japanese release was like 1998, if I want to say. Maybe it was 97, 98. I don't actually remember, but it really was not that far off from Sonic Adventure. And I was surprised to learn that's not the same artist either. That's a separate artist from the adventure design, which we're about to talk about.
Yeah, that's interesting because like it's got that same level of like curvature and
The emphasis on the limbs and the hands and movement and flow through the design. Yeah.
He also looks like he's either like practicing for DJ school or like firing off finger guns. I don't know what he's up to.
I mean, that makes sense
having
though,
a
because
blast.
there was a lot of artwork, like those weird rendered 3D artworks of Sonic back then, and a lot of times it would show him like at a Sega party DJing for everybody. Like that was just kind of a theme for him back then, so it makes sense.
Dude, those Dreamcast commercials were amazing.
Yeah. So Chamas, thank you for name dropping. This is Satoshi Okano's design. And what's interesting too is like he was up for the running in terms of what the new Sonic design was going to look like, and he didn't do anything too dissimilar from this. Because when they were making Sonic Adventure and they wanted to reemphasize the design of Sonic, because they're going to make a big splash on the Dreamcast, it was down to like 4 different people altogether, like in terms of because I think Yuji Naka was like, hey, we're going to do an internal contest again to see what Sonic's eventually going to look like. It was between Oshima, the guy who originally designed Sonic, this one here, Okano's, and for God's sakes, I cannot remember his name, but the guy who eventually did design Adventure Sonic, who actually did like the core main artwork for the Sega for Sonic R over in Japan. So
I gotta ask, because this just bumped into my brain. Sorry, this is a little off topic, but we're talking like character designs and everything. Something that always comes up whenever I bring up Klonoa to people is they like, hey, that looks kind of like Sonic. Is there any connection between the guy that drew Klonoa and designed him and someone that worked on a Sonic design?
I don't think so, but there's definitely I mean, I've done a little bit of research, but it's been a minute since I've done that because I love the hell out of Klonoa.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell like the redesign idea definitely hit because Sonic was doing the same thing back in the day. And poor little Klonoa, like it did not capture the audience it deserved. So when Klonoa 2 came out, you definitely saw some adventure era inspiration from that newer design for him.
That was such a
let's
good
see.
game. I'm glad that I got peer pressured into playing it.
We gotta get you on 2.
Yeah, before we jump into like the major, I think this is like one of the major redesigns in terms of Sonic. All this stuff's been like little bits of business, but like this is like the big one. But outside of before we do that, now Sonic Bot dropped $20 for us. I've heard about a Spider-Verse-esque event for Sonic, but I don't think it works due to Sonic's design never drastically changing. Thoughts? I think Sonic Generations was the most you could really do with that. That's my thoughts.
I mean, I think one thing, I guess, like, I've always thought they could do like a Sonic Dimensions kind of game, but it would be more around like the worlds that it takes place in than necessarily Sonic himself crossing over.
Right.
Like, I'd like to see like the modern Sonic dip into the worlds of other Sonics, like dip into Sad AM, dip into Archie, dip into Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog, dip into Boom. Have him meet Boom because Boom's different enough. Movie, do that as well. Like, I think that can work, but I think, yeah, if you're having just a bunch of Sonics that all look pretty much the same on screen, yeah, kind of pointless.
I mean, even
I agree.
The closest.
The only one that's.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say is like that as an idea. I feel like just kind of fundamentally flawed by like if you take a look at Into the Spider-Verse. You've got Spider-Gwen, who's in this completely white and pink costume. Then you've got Spider-Man Noir. He's all monochromatic. There's one in a mech. There's one, that's red and blue, and then there's one in a black and red costume. It versus like if you get a bunch of Sonics together, the only one that's going to stand out among all the other ones is like maybe Boom Sonic because he's wearing a bunch of sports tape.
Yeah, it's like this
Yeah.
is the Sonic with a scarf. This is the Sonic with slightly longer quills. This Sonic has slightly different leg anatomy. It's like, nah, there needs to be more of a defining feature.
Well,
and it
and
could be
that's-
that, I don't know, they maybe enter these worlds and give Sonic a little redesign with it. Like, I don't mind that idea, but like, yeah,
Maybe
nah,
Pirate Sonic.
That's
I think
kind
there's a lot of emphasis on the voice actors in terms of the Western fan base is concerned, because on as far as they're concerned, and again, like I'm referring back to like all the comments I saw in like the why modern Sonic matters. Like people were just like giving me shit left and right, like why are you showing SA2 Sonic? Like, cause bitch, that's the design. That's why. But they're like they do have a point in terms of like what modern Sonic is as opposed to what he was in the Dreamcast, because a lot of people put so much emphasis on his personality and the world around him and how he interacts with it. And I agree with you, Pup. I think it really only works not if you have all those Sonics together, but if you have Sonic jumping into these different worlds and interacting with these nuanced takes on his design.
Yeah.
I don't think Buzzhead Sonic would be as interesting next to modern Sonic unless you have modern Sonic jumping into the Sad AM world, you know?
And,
yeah.
and that's like another thing that you kind of miss out on with that is that if you can't differentiate them based on designs, then you might as well differentiate them based on personality, because this is a character who has grown over the years. But that's something where I think Sonic Generations fumbled a little bit. Is like you missed out on an opportunity there with this cutesy little Saturday morning cartoon classic Sonic, where he should have been a little bit more of an asshole.
Oh
I
yeah, no,
agree
like,
1,000%.
the modern games, like as far as classic Sonic's character go, they don't get him. Like I love Sonic Generations to bits, but I always said, God, this guy's so fucking cute. But he
Yeah.
doesn't do any of that like snarky stuff that classic Sonic was kind of known for. And then in Forces, it's even worse. Like,
because
But
in
that's why
Forces,
they
he's
do like the
barely
Santiago.
there.
Yeah, that's the Santiago meme.
yeah.
Like, I know
Because,
some
like-
people are sick of it, but like Jinjin was onto something when he created that. And the emphasis was like, look, I mean, in hindsight now, I love Generations when it came out. I still love, pardon me, I still love Generations, but like in hindsight, it really goes to show you how little the core development team understands the basic fundamentals of Sonic the Hedgehog. And I think that's why the 30th anniversary comic meant so much to me, and why Mania meant so much to all of us old school fans, is because that Sonic next to Adventure era Sonic would be a sight to behold. That would be a fun story.
Yeah.
And
See, now that's how they could justify putting modern Sonic and classic Sonic together again, is if they really do the defining versions of these
right.
characters.
Not to mention, there's
Right.
other stuff with those crossovers. Like there's a couple of things that I want to bring up where these design crossovers. One of the reasons why it can work. One of the things that they should do with it. When Archie tried to do this storyline specifically, the like Sonic crossover thing, I think the closest thing they got was like, this is the Sonic with a pirate hat. This is the Sonic who looks like Judge Dredd. This is the Sonic, like that's literally how they did that storyline in like the old classic Archie comics, because that was the most you could do is just modify the current design with a hat.
Well, like something I kind of considered was that like what they could do, like, because I've always had this idea in my head for like a Sonic Dimensions game. Like one of the episodes of it could be in like the Sad AM / Archie universe. I always kind of thought like he could go into this universe where there's Sally Acorn and stuff, and they could be aged up. And the Sonic there is captured and stuff, and he's got to rescue him. And that Sonic is more of an older, grizzled Sonic that's like, you know,
Oh, that
in
could be
love
fun.
and stuff like that. And like you've got this little Roger Craig Smith baldy nose hair Sonic. Like, what the hell?
Well, and
I'm
that's
dating
kind
a
of-
princess. Ew, that's authority. Dating's gross. Girls are gross and stuff. And then he goes to rescue the grizzled older Sonic and stuff.
Well, and that's kind of actually a little bit like what I want, because what I want is when we got Forces, right? Forces did the whole Eggman took over the world storyline, and it really botched it. And I'm not trying to do a whole like We hate Sonic Forces here on Sunset City
Let's
TN
not do that
thing.
again.
Yeah, I feel
what
like
I-
we finally got out of that.
But what I am trying to say is that what I would like to see is I would like to see the Sonic that handled everything in Forces, Roger Craig Smith Sonic, go to the Sat AM universe and go, wow, when Eggman took over my world, it was nowhere near this bad. Holy, how did this happen? Like,
Also, I like
see that.
the idea.
I want to see some animosity between. That's the most defined Sonic as far as I'm concerned in the classic era for American stuff. I would love to see that Sonic feeling a little insecure next to modern Sonic, because like I've said it a couple hundred times at this point, I really do think the modern Sonic with his abilities would decimate Robotropolis in a matter of an afternoon. Like
Yeah.
it's
I think-
they're
I mean,
they're
you could
done.
say that. You could say that it's built on stronger metal or something. I don't know, but like,
Well, what I would do is just so it's not a 5 minute long episode of a thing, I think that would be where I don't know, they'd be an overconfident. It'd be weird to see like that overconfident Sonic from back in the day, that loudmouth, like have that challenged a little bit by a better version of himself. But at the
But
same
also,
time,
like-
you bring Eggman in to team up with Robotnik, have that defined difference between the two of them.
well,
Because
see,
just the mad chaos of what modern Eggman can do in that world would be nuts.
I'm thinking so much about the potential like character interactions you could get out of this as well. Like Sonic could go through and be like, "Wow, Eggman's been hard at work," and they're all like, "Who's Eggman?" Because they respect him a little more in that regard. They don't see him as a joke, so they call him Robotnik, and that kind of sets him up as a more fierce enemy to deal with. Sally could be like, "Oh, you remind me of you when you were younger and stuff," and they all think that Sonic is dead when actually no, he's just captured. Bit like Forces in that regard. No word of torturing for months though, but he won't be quite as happy-go-lucky as the Roger Craig Smith Sonic we know and love. But anyway, let's not get too far into that. We're talking about like Sonic aesthetic today.
Oh,
Yeah,
true. We should
but
probably
this
move
is
on to the next one.
these little but these little fan ideas in our head, like this is why we have so many discussions on the different designs, because there are enough nuances between the two of them, and that we can have these conversations. Like the worlds of Sonic can diverge so much, and that's why there's so much animosity between the fan bases here. But I
They-
agree. Yeah, we should
they
probably move
often-
on.
And because the design, the last thing I'll have to say on this, but because those designs do evolve based like with the personality of Sonic as he's grown, those don't just define a look for the character, they define an entire era.
Yes, agreed. Speaking of,
The
I
next
think
design.
it's time. Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to talk about like the big
I got him.
shakeup.
I've
for
got
Sonic the
him
Hedgehog.
up on screen for us right
So,
now.
The next one is the 2000s Sonic artwork, as kind of made its namesake in the adventure era.
I love
Yeah.
this thing. This
It's
is
so fucking
same.
cool.
this is my fucking favorite of any Sonic design ever. This has been my favorite. I remember flat out spending hours just going through the artwork sections of Sonic Mega Collection, just staring at like Christmas postcards and stuff with this character design. This looks like a character that is always moving. This looks like a character who has attitude. This looks like somebody who they'll be your best friend, but they're not going to fucking hang around because that's just not what they do. And I absolutely fucking love this design. Hands down, this is my number one spoiling for the ranking shit. I'm sorry, I have to gush about it.
I'm gonna
So-
say this real quick because it's gonna be a little controversial, but I've seen so much shit for the Greg Martin design, but I see more of the Greg Martin design in this look than literally any other portion of Japanese Sonic artwork. There is so much of that in that face, just right there.
Well, the
His big ass
attitude.
clown shoes, the butt brow, the even more intense smirky smile. It's all there, man.
Can we do
it's
a-
I
Yeah, you-
love this look.
Can we do
You
a
guys
shout out?
call it-
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
You
can we
guys
do?
call it the butt brow? I always call it the pussy brow. Not gonna lie.
Jesus.
We'll have to
Stop.
do. We have to do it. We have to do a quick shout out for Chow Mix here. Hot dog shoes, guys.
Hot dog juice.
Chow Mix
so-
loves to eat feet confirmed.
Okay, I guess I'll give my 2 cents on this. So yeah, it does have more in common with Greg Martin Sonic than people give it credit for. But I think it's also something that improved a lot over the ages. I think they really perfected this look with like the Sonic Rush renders of it. I don't know if we can get those up on screen, but they're just that bit cleaner than what we're seeing here. And and that's kind of my favorite look for modern Sonic. But like, I think this is the point where Sonic stopped looking like Mickey Mouse's radical neighbor and really came into his own as like a design. This was the point where it was now unmistakably a design that was owned by Sonic, which I really appreciate.
I remember getting freaking McDonald's Happy Meal boxes and just like keeping the cutouts from the Happy Meal boxes because they had this design on them.
He looks like he's going to stumble over himself. It looks like he's going to trip over his own quills.
Right, Suris, get the evolution of this up on screen. I'm sending it to the Discord chat now.
Absolutely. I will say there is something that this version of the design does that I want to point out. This looks like they took the very like radical Sonic Adventure artwork and they combined it with kind of the aesthetic that Sonic X was going for at the time. And by putting those together you get this Sonic, and it looks good. I don't like it as much. I know you like it more, Pup. I don't like it as much, but I do think that this is them going, let's take Adventure Sonic, let's take X Sonic, let's marry them together, and let's see if we can make the best of the best thing we can do with it. And this looks like that to me.
And you do see the evolution of Yuji's more angular design that he has nowadays for the Hedgehog.
I just like that this is like a midway point. It's cleaner as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so one thing I want to say is like I appreciate the kind of graffiti inspired aesthetic. Very suitable for Sonic. And like they did get him in some crazy poses in the early days, like that you would never see classics. Like, for example, the swastika pose from the Sonic Adventure 1 artwork.
Sake.
He's posed like a swastika.
There's also I also have to show this off though. I'm sorry guys, I have to show this one off too. I fucking love this.
Very distinct art style.
I love this from Sonic Battle.
Can we get a game where he's just looks like this, please?
Oh, I like that too. Yeah.
This is so like Sonic Battle is I love the game for its story. It's a very tedious game to play through, but every single time that I'm seeing the characters with this art style, it's just so good. I'm sorry. This is my
It's a fun
area.
design. It's a fun
so
design.
Cool. I really want that edgier, like
literally edgier.
That's exactly what I mean.
Well, like the line art is literal just angles, and it's great.
It's so fucking cool. I need a cel-shaded Sonic game with this art style.
Oh, I would love a 3D cel-shaded Sonic game that kind of feels. But I'm not sure how this
natural,
art style,
right?
I'm not sure how this art style or the adventure art style would necessarily translate to that. It would be more of a 2D game, I'd imagine. And I want 3D Sonic, but like, yeah, no, I really like the battle design. It looks like kind of the kind of thing you'd get on like Sonic trading cards, I would imagine. Like if they ever did that. I kind of feel like these designs would be right at home there.
I mean, that kind of works because in battle, the attack system in that game is like they're collectible trading cards, effectively. So, I mean, that kind of works. But I'm gonna
Did they pull a chain of memories on Sonic?
No. So basically, you have. I'm just gonna very briefly. So in Sonic Battle, you have Emerald as your like the big main character, and also like kind of, I don't want to spoil the thing with Emerald, but basically he learns off of everybody else's moves. So everybody's fighting game moves in that game are categorized as trading cards, but they don't operate that way. You collect one move every time you beat someone in a fight, and then as Emerald, you basically slot those moves into him like a deck, but he fights like a regular fighting game character. It's just a trading card aesthetic for building your moveset.
Okay. There's no easier way to lose me on a video game than fucking trading cards.
No.
So it's Power Stone in Sonic form. That's all you need to know.
Okay. Oh,
It's an arena fighter. Yeah. What I miss about this era specifically is like there was so much emphasis on art style for everything, and this is what was used for spin-off games. Sonic Riders, if we can get that up there too, that's another prominent one. I think people would be pissed if we didn't talk about. But you distinctly knew when we were getting a different. Like, this is like, obviously, this is going to be different from your mainline Sonic game because we're taking a completely different art style and we're just going to own it completely. This art style represents this gameplay style, and this gameplay style is not going to be anything it's racing, but it's going to be distinctly Sonic, or this is fighting, but this is distinctly Sonic's. I missed that. I miss them using a different art style every time they were trying something different with the games.
Here you go. I just got the writer Sonic
No,
up
I
on screen.
fully agree with that. Like, it's something that Chowmix mentioned a while ago on his like Twitter, was when he had like, you know, the Sonic designs through the ages, and how recently they've just kind of sat on the one design. On one hand, I think it's good that they found consistency, but a game like, for example, Sonic Lost World, modern Sonic doesn't fit in that fucking game as far as the art style is concerned. Modern Sonic doesn't belong there as far as I'm concerned. They should have had a devoted design for that game.
I want to see the story, especially because like in the Sonic comics, we've got the Yeti in the Sonic comics, and they're a whole lot more fun there. I want to see the I don't know, what did I say, SETI? Oh my god.
You said Yeti.
Oh, Yeti, the Zeti. I want to see the Sonic battle, or the Sonic writer's design of Sonic, go up against the Zeti, but the Zeti, I want them in that design as well. I don't want the Zeti in their, like, they're very Mario designs right now. I want the Zeti in that angular battle design going up against Sonic. I think that would be perfect.
If they ever brought them back, yeah. Here's the beautiful thing about Sonic. Despite all the things we are talking about, that core element design we talked about with that very first look of Sonic stays true through the whole thing. So I really don't buy the consistency thing in terms of using that Unleashed model for over a decade. Because you know, when you look at those quills and that mono eye and that color, that is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
You
like
do not need of that one same model. It's not going to confuse kids. It's going to tell kids this is still Sonic. It's just going to be a little bit different from what you're used to. But you know this is Sonic, so come on, come buy this.
It never confused anybody when we were kids. I don't think I remember a single playground conversation about, wow, why does this Sonic look different? To us, it was just all Sonic.
Yeah, I think Sega would do well to embrace having a distinctive art style for each game, kind of like they did in the 2000s. But like at the same time, I'm not really going to complain too much about Sonic looking like Sonic as far as like, you know, the consistency thing goes. Like, but yeah, it's kind of a moot point, I guess.
I'd like to see more 2D art with modern games.
Oh
Just
yeah,
that,
give me 2D covers again. You know, the 3D
I
covers
don't even
are
need
fine, but-
covers. Like even in the menus or something, just give me something. I mean, for
Yeah,
God's sakes,
definitely.
there's no way they don't have some hand drawn beautiful shit just in behind the scenes.
I
We're missing
would
a lot of super chats. Oh god.
Oh no, we read them between Sonics. So like before we get to the next one, we'll do the super chats. It's a structure.
Have you saved any of them in our Discord chat? Because we got a few.
I actually haven't. So let me just go ahead and.
So
I mean, I'm scrolled. I can read them. I can read them now because I'm scrolled to where they are. So.
I could also point out, just so everybody knows, if you ever are doing, like when we're doing this show, if we're logged in to the studio, we can literally just pull them up like that. I just
Anywho, I think it behooves us to get through these, I guess, because like I don't know, are we happy with what we've said about
I think so.
the adventure era
can-
artwork? Because
I could
like, we
gush
won't
for
be
hours, and I
factoring-
don't want to.
we won't be factoring like the riders and stuff designs into our top 10 lists. So okay, right, let's look at this first one from Super Static Pro, $5. I miss the Nike logo smug. It's true, it is a Nike logo, isn't it? Like smart. And then of course we've got our pal Jamal with $2. Happy B Theory Day, Nick x Sally Acorn Cannon. He's hang on. No, Nick, you pointed out in the past that he was spelling acorn wrong and now he's corrected it.
Yeah.
We need I need more Nick x Sally Akron.
Yeah, and
it's-
Sally Akron had her
Still
own
not
identity.
a single bit of fan art. I'm disappointed in everybody.
Nick, if you
I'm
show
making it out myself, but I don't know how to explain that to my wife.
if you showcase fan art in your episodes, just one per episode, you will get flooded. I guarantee you.
Yeah, guys, get on that Nick x Sally Acorn insertion, please. So next up,
all right,
We
pulling
have-
up Photoshop.
Oh god.
£4.99 from Jerome McCullough. £4, eh? Fellow British man. Okay, anyone think that Yuji Okawa's current style would look good in hand-drawn 2D game, or in a Guilty Gear Dragon Ball Z Fighters style, 3D models treated like 2D?
Ooh,
Would be
That is-
so
that is
fucking
as-
cool.
that would be
That would
Well shaded as it gets, man.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That would be great, and
That
in a
is-
3D game, I would love it.
That
Like,
is
Oh, yeah.
all I want out of this franchise right now.
amen to that.
Bring back style is what we're looking for, man, and that's how you do it. I agree.
Uh,
Sony gave us $2.79 Canadian. Blue Zavok is peak Sonic design. What?
Oh yeah, we definitely want Zavok back. Like that's very important.
we love
We need
Zavok
to-
here at Sunset City TM.
You know what's going to be really sad is that like there's the off chance. There's the off chance.
Makes my wife.
There's the off chance that someone at Sega is actually listening to this podcast and they're taking it literally when we say we want Zavok back. Because that's how Sega seem to operate, I think.
I'm gonna
Like,
be honest. I am fine with the Yeti coming back in later games. I just want the Yeti
again,
to be
the
cool.
Zeddy.
God
fuck's
damn it,
sake.
Zeddy! What the fuck is wrong with me?
He's not a Yeti.
Sega, don't throw anything in the trash. Bring back anything you want to. I just beg you, make it good.
No, throw Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and Sky Sanctuary in the trash now. We're done.
Okay, those we're done with.
The
Fuck
book
off
is
with...
the book is closed. The book
Fuck
is
off with
closed
Chemical
there.
Plant.
Speaking
I'm
of
done with Chemical Plant.
Speaking of
Stop
books,
reusing assets, Sega. That's why Zavok is back as often as he is. They're reusing
Okay,
assets.
this is great. So we just said bring back whatever you want, but don't reuse stuff.
well, yeah, bring back
basically.
the ideas, but don't reuse.
Welcome back to Sonic fandom. This is how we roll.
Okay, so basically we want a
I want
3D
this thing,
Sonic
but
game,
don't
but
do it.
we want a 2D Sonic game, but we want it to be 3D, and we want the Zeddy to come back, but we don't. That's
Can we have another storybook game, please?
So okay,
You know-
the next one we're going to talk about, and hopefully this one will be a bit quicker, is the early CGI modern Sonic, as seen on like the cover, for example, like Sonic Adventure DX and stuff like that. I
Okay,
just realized.
so you're talking about the cover. I was thinking you were talking during like the opening cutscene to Sonic Adventure 1.
I mean,
It's
it's,
the same thing.
I mean,
it's
it's kind
the
of
same.
the
It's
same.
the same model. It's just when he's running in cutscenes, the quills can move and he looks a little more on model. When he's standing
Yeah.
still, it's the same issue. Like we'll get to it when we talk about the 06 model. The 06 model has this same problem where like when he's running, he looks fine, but when he's standing still, the quills look like weird gel hair. And
Oh, I
just-
have completely different problems with the 06 models, but I'll get into that.
Oh shitting hell! I've just thought of something. When we do our list of 10, can we actually make that a list of 11? Because like there's no heroes in this list, and I just think that design is too noteworthy to miss out.
I
Like
know,
it's,
man.
It's
It's
the
the same
fucking
thing.
same. It looks like
So-
shit.
Hero Sonic is this 3D Sonic render, but really disproportional. That's all
okay,
it is.
Okay, if that's what you want to go with, that's fine.
And
Okay,
it brought in the worst trend of mouth animations the franchise has ever seen.
yeah, no, that's hideous. What I will say though is I like this render here that we got on screen a lot better than what we got in Heroes. Like,
Yeah, Hero
I mean,
Sonic
like
is
you'd have
weird.
to do this. You'd have to break down early 3D classic Sonic 2 because
Yeah.
it changes game to game to game, and this is what we're talking about. Like we need to just kind of settle with nuance here.
okay, so we're
Yeah.
at a point in Sonic's history where Sega were obsessed with taking condoms and just wrapping them over Sonic to make him look shiny, and it's not a trend that I really cared for and stuff. I like that he's got a little puffed out chest here, but this is much more of a Knuckles pose, I would say. Also, his feet look disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's his mouth doing?
it's
A little crook in there.
he just had
He's
a
about
good
to
time.
cry.
He just had a good
He's
time.
gonna cry.
Uh,
His lips are quivering. He's about to cry.
Oh man,
He's
Yeah.
trying to look tough. He's trying to look tough, but Eggman just insulted him.
He's trying to look tough in front of Sally Akron.
He's just like, you blue bitch.
I just beat my new nemesis, Perfect Kumos.
Oh, for crying out loud. Imagine that. White chaos. That would be disgusting. Someone
Ugh.
please make that a mod. Make that a mod, please. Come-os.
Just that whole like tsunami scene, whole different context.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of pregnancies happening there. Jesus.
Ah!
Oh god.
You don't want to get caught up in that, especially if you're a female.
Oh god.
All right, so
Okay.
back
On to-
I'm
Back
sorry.
to back to Sonic.
that.
You started this monster, Wayne. It's all
I
your
know.
fault.
Yeah, you
Um,
made Come-os.
But honestly, so like this is a design that like I said, when it's in motion, it's fine, but because he's a mascot, I hear myself in something. Pup, I hear myself in your speakers.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, Okay, that should help.
So while I don't hate this design, this is a very middle of the ground design for me because again, like I said, when it's in motion, it's fine, but it's supposed to be a mascot. Mascots are supposed to be posed. They're supposed to look good in still images, and in all still images that I see this thing, I just don't like it. I just don't.
I've just had an idea. I think tonight I'm gonna get on Photoshop, put a giant spoon in his like left hand, and just edit him behind some cereal and make like a cereal box because it just looks like a cereal box mascot.
He loves his cereal. Give him some.
He
blue,
likes his bee rings.
Give him some blue Cheerios.
Yeah, he's got some honey rings. Like that's what he's eating.
So I feel conflicted because I'm just like I actually like the way that Sonic moves around in the opening to Sonic Adventure quite a lot. In fact, that intro in and of itself has some of my favorite designs. You look at that shot of Dr. Robotnik on top of the egg carrier in that fucking cutscene and tell me that's not the coolest shit you've ever seen. Like he's just standing there, the wind like coming at him. He's up there with purpose, just looking down at the world he's trying to conquer. And Sonic just looks perfect in that whole like intro scene and everything. And then you look at like the Sonic model in the actual game, and it's one of my favorite designs of the characters. The horrible lip syncing aside, I love it maintains some of that pudginess of like the classic of that like almost Toei animation design, but with a little bit more of that hard edge that the modern games were going for. I don't know. But I don't like this render at all.
Yeah,
I
think.
might be making this fucking cereal promo right now. Not gonna lie.
Oh
Oh
man.
my god.
So do we want to go ahead and move on to, or get the super chat just came in and then move on to the next one here?
All right, let's do it. Rock and roll. Let's go.
All right, so
Yeah,
the super chat is from Super Static Pro for $5. I do unironically like it in Sonic Heroes CG when the characters have no mouths, and I don't know why. I think it's a cool aesthetic. I'm gonna say that in the Sonic Heroes CG cutscenes, everything looks a little too fluid. I was watching them over again before the show, just so we could talk about the design of everything. And when characters are like running around in the pre-rendered environments of the movies in that game, they always feel like they're being deliberately placed places as opposed to like organically jumping and moving places. And I understand that like because it was 2003 and we were still learning how to make really good CG for video game cutscenes, that's to be expected. But at the same time, like it feels like the characters had no weight in a lot of those scenes. But I do understand that like they looked better in motion in those scenes, like in the Sonic Heroes opening, they look better in motion there.
I think the original adventure CG opening works as well as it does because of the intense editing. They don't stay static or focus on these models for too long. And that's why I really haven't said anything about this. They're just taking Uikawa's design and trying to make it into 3D. I wouldn't even put it in part of this discussion. It's whatever to me. It's them just trying to figure out how to take that art style and put it into 3D. And that's really all it is. It's the exact same thing as classic Sonic brought into 3D. It's core design's there. That's all I care about. It's just a limitation of their hardware at the time more than anything else.
Which leads
well,
us...
in that case, the next design is the Sonic 06 design, which basically took the typical sort of modern Sonic look and stretched him to be extra lanky.
He's very
and
long.
extra tall. He's a long boy.
Long Sonic.
He's very, very long.
Lonic.
Lonic.
Also, I hate... I'm just going to say this right now, and it's really noticeable in this particular picture of the model. Shao Mix pointed something out on Twitter, and I cannot unsee it anymore. The shiny metal shoes. They just get shinier with every iteration, and I don't
think they're metal, but they are shiny.
They look like they're metal though, and I hate it. But there is something that this model does that I like. I actually, while I may not like this Sonic model more than a lot of other things, it ranks kind of low in my lists. But there's one thing this model does that I like, and that is a lot of the shininess that is normally on Sonic today and normally on Sonic in those like Adventure era 3D renders. A lot of that shininess is gone, and he looks a little more textured in this and a little less shiny. So like having a Sonic model that is 3D that doesn't look like plastic anywhere near as much as those other renders, I do like.
The time this came out, it was an upgrade from what we had, I think.
My thing is, this in cutscenes for Sonic 06, the pre-rendered ones to be exact. I think that this is some of the best Sonic has ever looked.
Oh yeah, easily.
Anytime this model is in engine, I laugh at it.
Oh, it looks like a
Yeah.
horrible. It looks like a horrible puppet.
Oh
in
yeah,
engine.
like
It
the way
looks
his eyes.
so fucking stupid. His dumbass mouth.
No, the thing that bugs me the most though is his eyes. They seem to fold like a piece of paper, like in
Motion
the middle.
capture,
Like,
man. I swear
they're
to God.
kind of on the side of his head. It's so weird.
Well, it's
No,
also
you're right.
like you know how fucking like I know it's a problem with the mocap thing, but the fact that characters very rarely in that game moved their eyes to see things, they always tilted their head full on. It looks like they all look like really bad Vroid models.
Oh, it
They
was
look
so...
like mascots, man. They look like Disney mascots or Power Rangers. Like I've
Yeah.
seen the same movement in Power Ranger episodes.
Their faces don't move. They are static. They are an actual like plastic model. Like you were saying, is like they look like less like plastic. I agree. In that official render that you've got it right up there during the pre-rendered cutscenes and everything, it looks fantastic. But every
Agreed.
time you're in engine, oh my God, he looks like he got a bad case of Botox and can't move his fucking face.
Sonic in Toy Story. That is 06. Except without Pixar's wonderful animation.
Ain't that
Yeah.
the case?
Uh,
Ain't that
some-
the truth?
Someone said Sonic 06 model looks so silly in gameplay because it's not well animated. I agree and disagree. I still think the model is silly. Even if you're just looking at a still image, I just shared one into the chat. It still looks fucking stupid.
It's got some of the worst case of mascot
Here
syndrome.
you guys go.
But, like, have
Just-
you?
There's so much communicated in this picture right here.
Wayne,
Just-
is there any chance that you can get the shot where he's looking at the newspaper and it zooms in on him? Because that's where his eyes look the worst. Like they look like they're made of cardboard and they've been folded in half. Like
There's so much in this picture alone that feels okay. So the environment looks like they're in the middle of an N64 game or like a really early prototype of Halo. Mephiles, I know the context of this scene is that Mephiles just killed Sonic, ooh spoopy, but like he just looks like he just came up to say hi. And Elise, what the hell is going on with her dress here? It's folding in on her. It's just
Mephiles looks like he was about to say something, but like Sonic's being a weirdo. He's like, I'm a little awkward. I think I'm just gonna leave.
I'm out, guys. I'm gonna go to a future where there's less cringe, everyone.
Well,
Sonic's
I was
just
going to
attention
invite you to
seeking
my
again.
gamer pad, but it looks like you're too busy thoughting over your egirl.
God, I heard you say that, but in Heisenberg's voice.
this is incredible. This is some of the best of
I was thinking more Memphis, Tennessee, but I can also see that.
Ethan Winters, welcome to Memphis. Hold on.
I don't think I would hate to see that. In terms of this render is concerned, I have a hard time disassociating this from this game, and I've said it 1,000 times. I fucking despise 06. But man, yeah, I also get where people are like, yeah, but you know, this current render we have, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing this dude come back and use a little bit better than what he's doing right now.
Suris, I've got another picture. Do you reckon you could just get this up on screen for a sec? There's the newspaper one.
I've already got it up there.
Okay, but no, here's the picture that I just want to share with everyone. I just want everyone to see what I've just quickly whipped up.
Oh my god. Okay, Pup. Here we go, everyone.
You
What the
just
fuck
did
these? Fucking
Yeah, I
these.
just did that now.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
You are
Bravo.
a god.
Bravo.
Welcome. Obligatory B theory reference has been brought in again.
Well
Oh, it's
done.
been a minute.
It's
Get that
been-
honey nut.
Oh my
This
god!
pleases the nut.
I want this on a cardboard box. I want this.
We could actually,
source of fiber. Oh, you spelled it all goofy like over there, or some shit. I don't know.
Fiber, some shit. I don't know. Oh
I
my
don't know what they write on cereal boxes these days, so
If
I'm just
we-
like,
if
there's a
we-
blank space that needs to be filled.
If we had a history of getting fan art on this show, this would be where people start making like all kinds of cartoons and shit of like Sonic just going, guys, I just really love Cheerios, okay?
Give us your best
Jeez.
cereal art for Sonic, and we'll
Yeah, we'll be
post it on our
posting-
We
Twitter
will
and
showcase
talk
it
about
on the
Posting this on
show.
our, yeah.
Sorry,
Well, given
again,
today's-
audio listeners.
Given
As
the
you can-
discussions
it's-
in today's episode, is that milk or is it cum us?
It's
Come
very,
in, that's actual rings made by bees.
it's very rushed. You can see I accidentally clipped out a bit of the white in Sonic's shoes, but fuck it, I don't
Oh,
care.
that'd be
Is it
perfect for
is
Sonic
it
then,
as
wouldn't it?
is it as rushed as Sonic 06?
Actually, no. I took my time with this. This was really done on a crunch, guys. Like,
Oh,
Is
swear to
is
God.
the crunch just
Oh,
as
come on.
Cheerios?
I
come
swear to
on.
God.
You know, truth be told, I am actually impressed you did that well that quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, should we move on to the next friend?
Jeez.
Should we move on to the next design?
All right,
Let's-
so this is this next one is modern Sonic.
We've been here for a minute with this one.
So like so modern Sonic made his debut in the opening CGI of Shadow the Hedgehog, but no one likes to talk about that. So
Yep.
we would mention Secret Rings, but again, no one wants to talk about that. So Sonic Unleashed, as far as everyone's concerned, was the birth of the modern Sonic design, which has gone on to become the vanilla Sonic, the Milquetoast Sonic. He's seen a slight evolution over the years. His quills have gotten shorter, but yeah. So what do we overall think of this one?
I don't mind this Sonic. Like I think more than anything, I'm just tired of this Sonic. Like I don't hate it. I'm just exhausted by it. It's been 10 years. You go on, sorry.
No, I was literally just gonna say I look at this model and I feel nothing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's Sonic. It's definitely
is-
Sonic.
It sure is safe and bland and very soft and round.
So I
Yeah.
guess I'll be the black sheep of the bunch as usual. I think it's a really, 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 really good design, and it's probably one of the better designs we've had for modern Sonic. But I would be remiss if I said that I didn't miss having distinctive art styles for each game, and this kind of killed that.
Yeah.
Because I do think like you can still have Sonic looking like Sonic and have a different art style for a certain game. As I've mentioned, Sonic Lost World should have had its own devoted Sonic design for it, like because this Sonic did not fit in that weird world. Because he's a vanilla Sonic, he's a basic Sonic, and I think he looks great. I can see why Sega stick with him. He's just the ideal middle ground. But like, I do miss the distinct identities that Sonic games used to have prior to this model coming in.
This Sonic feels like he was designed to play Olympic Games with Mario.
Yeah.
He looks factory made.
He looks like he's trying to emulate the basic ass, boring fucking Mario designs they have nowadays because it's safe and it sells well. That's what it looks like to me.
Thing
Yeah.
is, though, at the time this was first revealed with Sonic Unleashed, as far as many are concerned, people were praising it. So it makes me wonder if it's maybe not the design's fault and the design actually is good, or if it is just there's a resentment that comes with it because of everything that this Sonic has gathered along the way, all the stigma that's gone with him. Like, has the good parts of this design lost their effect, I guess?
Well,
and I guess
I-
that's kind of how I view it. Like,
Yeah. Well, I don't. So, at least from my perspective, I certainly can't speak for everybody. When it comes to people who just like don't really care for this design, or at least not anymore. Sonic Unleashed, I absolutely love this model. I think he looks so great there and everything. But we've been talking so much about, and like again, some of my favorite stuff is just the crazy out there things that they've done with Sonic. This
Yeah.
2000 art era
It
is
killed that. Like, you just lost
yeah.
all of that expression with that. And I don't think that this is by any means a bad design. I don't think it's soulless or anything either. I think it's a good design. But it's
Mhm.
just the fact that this is the vanilla Sonic now, and that we're
Yeah.
not getting any unique art styles per game. I think it has made it so it's not going to be anyone's favorite Sonic because it's just baseline vanilla Sonic.
And I think that it's not so much the design's fault, because I think it's a good model. It's a really good model, and I think it's a good design. It's just that it's like you can still be bolder, and they seem to kind of refuse to. I don't think that people maybe have so much of a problem with this specific model or design of Sonic. It's really just the principle. It's this like this model of Sonic just stands as a testament to compromise on Sega's part and their unwillingness to be bold with how Sonic looks anymore.
I
So-
guess another thing also worth noting though is that we've seen Marza Animation Planet take on this design for Sonic
Yes.
in like the Unleashed cutscenes, and suddenly he looks much more elasticy in the way that he moves, and even when he stood still, he looks a bit more fluid. It's interesting to see that Marza Animation Planet seem to have a different attitude toward this design than what we see in the renders and other such thingies. And I kind of feel like the perfect way to do it would be for Sega or whoever does these renders and whoever makes the in-game animations to find a way to emulate the way that Marza Animation Planet does it. Because I think in that case, if they did that, there would be a lot less complaints about this modern Sonic design as a whole.
That I think this is again what I'm talking about. Like before we started, just like heads up, guys. Like when we first started, I told them like I don't have a ranking. I don't see that much of a difference between all of them. But again, Sonic's kept his core design through this entire time. This is more about execution more than anything else. And I was going to bring it up, and I'm glad Pup did. Nobody complains about the opening cutscene of Unleashed. Nobody. Like that looks amazing, and it's because they're utilizing the speed and movement and fluidity of Sonic the Hedgehog. Those cutscenes in game do not do that. They are stiff. They're boring. They're just not well done. It's better than the motion capture shit from the past, but
Yeah.
again, it's just middle of the road where it feels safe. And that's not why I played Sonic growing up with a Genesis. Like that's why I complained about with Mario World. Yes, it is a great game, but it looks like it's made for babies, and that's why I went for Sonic 1 back in the day.
And
Well,
it.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, Wayne.
No, you go on ahead.
I was gonna say, I think you're right. Like the issue with this doesn't this model doesn't come down to how well or poorly it's designed, because it's designed well, it's designed sensibly. It's just what this model does, and the answer to that is not a lot. Like we have the opening of Sonic Unleashed, that's amazingly good, but then because it represents not only the artwork's not changing, but also us just having these stiff cutscenes going forward, this stiff Sonic that just doesn't feel right anymore. It just doesn't feel like he's energetic.
I mean, I'd also say he looks stiff in a lot of renders as well. For some reason, those Marza animations just make it look a whole lot better. Even when he stood still, he looks a bit more fluid.
Yeah,
I
because
wish I had I wish we had the fan art. I wish I knew his name, but like, do you guys remember when they first that rumor that we are gonna get like a 3D Sonic collection and everyone was losing their shit over it?
Yeah, I
Because
remember that.
just of this fan design of it, there is so much action and intensity. Like it captures that fluid movement of the adventure art style beautifully. And if they just put that effort in there, like it's one guy doing that, you know?
There's someone called Yuki Sora or Spider Lily Froz on Twitter that was remaking the Sonic Forces cutscenes, and just take a look at this and get this up on screen. That's how this modern Sonic should always look.
Oh wow!
And I don't necessarily mean that render quality, but in terms of the movement of him, in terms of his posture and everything,
He looks
that
like
is how it should look.
like he's interrogating someone. Like
He's
that's
talking to
good.
Infinite.
Well,
this
yeah,
this is a fan.
This is
this is a fan made.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's-
looks really good.
I think it's by Yuki Sora. Let me just double check.
Like that is like again. It like I said. It
it's
comes.
a retweet. Hang on, let me find the original source of this.
It doesn't
sorry,
come down
original.
to this model being bad in and of itself. This model. So okay, this model of Sonic, not this particular render, but the model itself, let me restate. It is a base plate. And because it is a basic base plate, you have to do something with it to make it stand out. A lot of the other designs...
Sorry, just before you continue, I just want to note it's by the Blue Blur YT, also known as Blur on Twitter. Not Yuki Sora was the one that retweeted it, so that's my mistake.
Gotcha. But when I see something like this, because it's not just the shape of the eyes. Look at the tilt of his body. Look at that, like, it looks like he's having a fucking day at this point. He's literally has that whole, what the fuck have you been doing, and why am I the one cleaning this shit up? That's what that looks like to me, and that is a wonderful utilization of this render. So I think it comes down to, I don't hate this render because it's bad. I hate everything around it.
Like, compare what we've got there to the actual cutscenes that we're getting in, like, Sonic Forces. Like, just literally swap those two images around and, like, look at the complete difference in attitude towards this animator who's gone and replicated the Mars Animation Planet style and what we're actually getting in the games. Like, it's so stiff.
I think we're really seeing like budgetary constraints on Sonic games of the modern era. Unfortunately, the thing about this Sonic and why they keep using it, like, you got to remember, and again, I think this is like a hindsight thing. I wish I had more. I don't know. I was excited at the time. I didn't really think about it, but like Generations was the game that defined this as modern Sonic. This was not a term that was used prior to that point. And like I think that's what they were distinctly trying to do, is like, no, this is how we see Sonic, this is how we define Sonic, and this is what Sonic has been and will be going forward. But I think it loses a lot of why those changes were made in the first place. I think Sonic was redesigned to bring a little bit more intensity to the design, to take him a little bit more seriously. He looks a little bit older, even if he is technically the same age. And the green eyes invoke a bit of an intensity, a little bit more of a soul to him. It's just that step closer to treating him like an actual living sentient thing, as opposed to just seeing classic Sonic as a cartoon character. This Sonic to me is here to tell us more interesting stories. Like, yeah, still have that fun, still have that flavor to it, but they removed all of that, and they went so far as to remove that initial charm of even classic Sonic. And I think that's why people are so upset with not even just this, but I think people are going to argue with us, like, hey, classic Sonic's just classic Sonic. We're throwing in that modern render as well. You're going to have plenty of people saying, no, bitch, that ain't the shit I grew up with. This is a completely different beast. It's like, I look at this, I have this figure that just recently came out, like the Ultimate Classic Sonic figure, and it's just the same render as before, but they switch out, you can switch out like his facial expressions, and one of them is like that Tyson Hess smirk, and it brings so much life to it, but like it's not enough. It still feels stiff. It still feels like it was made to be an action figure. And yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what we're getting from these, is like we're getting things that are made to fit into a mold of an action figure. I think somebody even said that in our chat. And it just breaks my heart, man.
The fact that they've started making modern Sonic's quills shorter as well. It's just why you do that,
And that's like, a lot of this is that so many of these models, it can't even really be that bad. It depends on how you use them. And we're talking about, like, this is basically the same design as what was back in Unleashed.
Right.
And I think about that opening cutscene, and a lot of it wasn't just the absolutely stellar lighting, directing, animation, and everything that was in there. A lot of it was the attitude. There's a moment where Eggman is there, like, groveling at Sonic's feet, and he's like, "Oh, I can turn over a new leaf. I won't do this again." And Sonic's just taking the piss out of him, and he's just like taunting him essentially. And he's like, "Well, Eggman, if you actually did if you were a good person, I wouldn't have to break all your toys."
Yeah.
And then Eggman just fucks him as well. It's such a well blocked, well directed scene.
Well, see,
and I
that's the
just
thing
love
is
that after that moment, That's the one instance of Sonic being a cocky prick in that game. That's the one instance
Yeah.
where Sonic
he-
is acting like that Sonic. And then after that,
And he
it's so
fucking
sobering.
pays for it. He pays
Yeah,
for it in
So sobering
spades.
for him.
Well,
Like, I
that's-
love that.
Well, that's my thing, is that I kind of want that character flaw there for Sonic, because he's so capable of literally everything that you need something to balance it out. And
Well, you did get that in Lost World when he kicked the conch out of Eggman's hand.
Yeah, but
I
with
mean,
has-
they attempted to. They attempted
Yeah.
to. That's
That's one thing where I will give Lost World some credit, is, to be fair, they did attempt some of the better stuff in Sonic storytelling.
I agree.
They
Yeah.
didn't do it very well, but they at least tried.
Yeah, it's just that, like, I think I've said it before. God, I did not want to get back to this place, but it's I'm not trying to shit on Forces. I'm just kind of trying to say this is where I am sort of with the way Sonic as a character has been handled, and the way that he's been animated, and the way that he's been presented. Was, again, at the end of Forces, we see Sonic, like, kind of waving off to your avatar character, and he's just like, I'm gonna go do some stuff.
You and I
and
are not so
just-
different.
Yeah. You and I are not so different, Spider-Man.
You
And
hear
he,
that, kids? You're just like Sonic.
he runs off into the sunset, and I'm just thinking,
Into
I don't really know who that character is, and I don't really give a shit about him. Is
Into the
basically what I was
sunset
feeling at the end of
city.
Pop. I didn't feel anything for Sonic. I didn't really feel like I was looking at a character. I felt like I was looking at a game mechanic, I guess. I was looking at a mascot, not
100%. Yeah.
someone I cared about, I guess. And again, I'm not trying to specifically shut up Forces. That's something that I've been feeling for a little bit with Sonic. And it's just like, I don't like feeling that way about him. And I'm really hoping that they make him interesting again. Just let Ian Flynn write a game.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
have we said all there is to say on Modern Sonic?
Yeah.
I think
we're
it's
not
important
mad. We're
for our next
disappointed.
one. Well, here's the thing.
We resent
I
it.
think the reason why I think we have an extended life on modern Sonic now because of this next design,
Yes, so
which
the
is Boom
next one
Sonic.
is Build-A-Bear. Oh, right, okay.
Is
I was-
Minecraft.
I was
Boom.
introducing the Sonics this time, Nick. Boom Sonic, probably the most controversial Sonic we've ever had. Well, the most controversial one that stuck around for more than just a trailer, anyway. Okay, so I'll let you guys go first because I've got quite a bit to say about Boom Sonic.
This Sonic exemplifies an issue that we talked about in the first 30 minutes of the show. When you make some different Sonics and you're literally just like, oh god, what do we do? Put a pirate hat on him. Oh god, what do we do? Put random fucking bandages on him. It's fine. Just throw it there. Like, it's literally, they took Sonic, made him lanky, put tape and a scarf on him, and then said, let's
Although
dishevel
I'm
a couple
gonna-
of quills.
I'm gonna say though, that render was the initial render that they released, and to be fair, he didn't really look quite as much like that in like the TV show and games, I would say. Like
Everything I just said still applies to all of that, though.
everything you just said still applies, but I'm just saying, like, when I get into my bit, I'll probably talk about more of the fundamental differences.
Yeah. I think
I'll get a picture when I get to that.
I think the thing that I like about this model the most. I'm sorry, Wayne. I'll let you go. Just a sec. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
But I think the thing that I like about this render more than anything is the quills. I like the disheveled, the disheveled quills. Like everything else about this render, I can go without. I prefer my Sonic to be a little more squash, a little less like this, but I would love to keep those quills going forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you go first, Wayne.
Actually, you go first, Nick. I feel like I might be the outlier here.
Well, I don't. You might be wrong there because the more I look at it, the more I like it. But I think I finally kind of figured out what I dislike about this so much. It doesn't feel like it's enough, and it doesn't feel like it makes sense for what they were trying to do. When I look at this Sonic, I've said this before. This feels like a Sonic with needless extras on him for no reason. And what he has on him, I would expect this in a story about a post-apocalyptic world for Sonic the Hedgehog, like a scavenger. That's what he looks like to me. He does not look like a happy-go-lucky lenient, sassier Sonic. That said, when I look at the silhouette of him, like bringing more emphasis to like a upside down triangular shape to his chest, and the blue arms work a little bit better because there's more of an emphasis on this extra thing there being the scarf. I kind of like it. I just don't think they've gone far enough. Like, I would change the scarf design a little bit. I think it works with that scruffy kind of thing they're going for, but I would use this for, ironically enough, a more serious Sonic story as opposed to the more lighthearted one that we got. And I think the failure of this one is why we have modern Sonic as often as we do, because the game was not good, but I'll be honest, there are some cutscenes in there where I openly laughed, which I've not done with Sonic media for up to that point for quite a while. Like, I had to stop everything and just laugh my ass off.
You want to
And
know
that
a fun
cartoon
fact?
got better and better and better. What's up?
The Sonic Boom game, we've kind of remarked, has better writing than most of the core series. But I just recently found out that it was written by Pontaf.
The dude has been in the industry for a minute, and I know a lot of people don't like what
They
he does
can
with
do
Sonic.
it. They've proven that they can do it. Not as well as the Sonic Boom TV show writers, but they can
No.
do it.
Yeah.
And
They
like,
can.
I get the feeling that maybe a lot of the anger that's being brought out on Pontaf should maybe be directed at the restrictions that they're probably working under.
I'm always gonna pin the blame on the executives making these decisions. But yeah, I mean, I think partially the reason why we have as much modern Sonic as we have is because this guy failed. And I don't, man, I'm so torn with Boom. I'm so fucking torn with it. Because I didn't want this to be what it was going forward. I didn't want Jak and Daxter via Sonic the Hedgehog. That's not why I go to Sonic. But man, we lost so much good with this. It's just kind of heartbreaking. But yeah, I don't hate this design. I just don't think it's well implemented for what it is. And if they were going for a more lighthearted, or they wanted to make a more distinct Sonic the Hedgehog, I look over towards like Sonic Skyline, something like that, where you can still have a scarf, but I don't know. It just looks a little bit cooler. Like, they just change up. They just don't add bandages to it. Like, they just change the design of his gloves and shoes, and it overall just works really, really good. So that's my take on it. But yeah, as Pup's showing us here, what a little evolution can do when you give something a little time to cook.
And that second render of him, I'm gonna be honest, if you just take the bandages off of that second render, I'm fine with it. I like that second render. Just get the mummy bandages off of him, and I'm good.
I don't think brown is a good color for him.
I guess I'll straight up say, I'm kind of in agreement with a lot of what everyone is saying, to be honest, and I'm surprised by that. The worst thing about this for me is the extra quills. I just look at that and I think, well done. Very, very clever.
Well done.
The scarf should be red, in my opinion, like a deep
Agreed.
red.
Yeah.
And I like the sports tape in concept, but it doesn't communicate well enough that it's sports tape, because when I saw this first artwork of Sonic Boom, I thought basically that the show was going to be like full of like cartoon slapstick violence, and that they were just constantly getting injured all the time, and that was part of like the joke, is that like they're on these adventures and they're constantly just hurting themselves, so they have to be bandaged up. And I just thought that was a fun idea. So yeah, I think the fact that you look at it and you immediately think bandage is a failing on the design's part. And that's a shame, because I actually like the way it looks. But if you take away the little cosmetic changes that were added to the Sonic Boom design, take away the extra quills, take away the scarf, take away the sports tape, I would say you've got a better Sonic than modern Sonic. And I know it's just a slight evolution on it, but his proportions are so much easier for the animators to work with. As noted in that animation of Sonic video, his hands are smaller, so they're more manageable. His head is smaller, so it's more manageable. He can just express so much better than a lot of the Sega designs, a lot of the Japanese designs do.
Didn't even notice that the hands were significantly smaller until you pointed it out.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, they're way smaller,
Yep.
which allows him to be so much more expressive.
That's always been a problem for me with the modern games. I cannot stand how big all of their fucking mitts are. It makes no sense to me. I think I have a couple of problems in terms of like because I watched the show and just like the joints and everything makes him a little bit too stiff for me. I think he's just a little bit too lanky, but I don't disagree with you. I think that those slight tweaks, again, this is what we're talking about when we're saying like nuance kind of matters, especially the more we talk about it. But yeah, deflate those fucking hands and you got something good going on there.
Yeah.
Are we Wayne, I think you need to give your 2 cents on Boom.
I like this design.
Right, I'm with you there. So you weren't such an outlier in the end as you thought.
I thought I was gonna be the only one who liked it. Because I don't know, man. I think
Come
it's
on,
cool.
you know me.
I
You know I'm
only-
the Boom apologist. Come on.
I only like it as a spin-off design. Like I wouldn't want this for the standard games. But as just something kind of different, like as I kept saying, I like it when Sonic experiments. Maybe it doesn't always hit, but I like that this was just something that seems out there but still kind of contained.
This
don't
is
even-
the thing. We,
Yeah.
as Sonic fans, constantly discourage the things we want.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Like here's
Hey, this mm.
I put up your wonderful picture.
Yeah, I don't even know where I had that in a folder somewhere and I just remembered it. I'm not sure where it came from.
Why are you showing us your porn?
If someone what?
Also,
Give me a second.
You guys can't see it, can you?
Wrong folder, Suris.
gentlemen, I think we missed the super chats between
Yes.
the
Yes, we did.
modern
we
and
did.
Boom designs. You hasty fuckers. So, oh my god.
Then
That's I'm oddly aroused by that.
Oh god.
Sega Studios just TP the shit out of their own mascot.
all right, so we do have a $5 super chat from M Minster 2000. Have you guys seen the Beta 06 model? It was basically the Unleashed model, but with extra fur on the quills. I have not seen the Beta
Yes.
06 model.
Oh, I'll get it. I'll get it. He's got a slightly more angry looking eyebrow as well. Sonic 06 beta model.
And while you are looking that up, I'll move to Super Static Pros real quick, and then we'll pop back over to Minster's. Jointed limb for $5. Jointed limbs for Sonic is gross. Long live rubber hose limbs. I agree.
I agree.
I
mean, I don't think it's
110%.
gross, but I don't think it's gross, but I agree that little noodly rubber hose limbs are better.
Okay.
Oy,
Is that all of
oy.
them?
Ball torture.
Pup is grabbing a thing.
Yeah, I've got it.
But we do
I've got it.
have one more super chat, and this is a $20 super chat from SonicBot. Thank you very much for that. I wouldn't
Yes,
mind if the modern Sonic model was a standard for future projects, but I think the model needs to be resculpted to better express Sonic as a character, what the new Frame Plus Sonic video said, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm okay with it. Like I said earlier, and like I think most everybody here kind of agrees with, the modern Sonic is it's a base plate, and we want to see more stuff done with it. And I think a lot of that's going to come down, like Nick said, it's going to come down to the budget. It's going to come down to whether or not they're given enough time and enough money, the animation team specifically, to actually do really interesting things with that model. Because you can.
I've got some ideas for interesting things they could do with that model. They could always give him some extra quills, a scarf, some sports tape.
Okay. Well, we've got this. We've got the Sonic 06 early render, and actually, I like this. I like this a lot.
I don't like how angry he looks, and I don't like that his quills have a little bit of a linger to them at the back. It looks kind of gross, but also Beta Silver is literally silver. He's not a white hedgehog, he's not a grey hedgehog, he's so shiny.
I want.
But
so if they just took some of the polish off of these shoes and made them look more like shoes and less like metal boots, I want this going forward, please. I know it's about 15 years too late, but I like this. I like this a lot.
Do you think that they give Sonic metal looking shoes because they literally are metal, because normal fabric shoes would just disintegrate when
they're
he runs?
leather. They're leather. Leather is shiny often. It's a leather sneaker, like a bowling shoe.
I really think Sonic would wear animal skin?
He eats
polished.
chili dogs, yes.
Never
Oh
mind.
shit, you're right.
Oh my god.
Just
Carnivore confirmed.
I've never thought about that until just this moment.
Yeah, holy shit.
Like
I don't
will
like
say,
I don't like it. I
I
don't
don't
like
like
all this
it.
fluff to it. I think it's needless.
I'm game for a furry Sonic, but I don't think on this model it works.
I
Yeah.
think
Personally.
furry Sonic is a thing that's existed for a while, Pup. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh my god.
Look, fuckface. That's
Oh
not
my
what I'm
God.
saying.
Go to deviantart.com.
Okay, so are
there-
we done with super chats now?
We
or
are
do
we are done with super chats, and so we have one more model to look at for Sonic, and I think everybody
Okay.
knows. Everybody knows what this one is, right?
Yeah.
get ready.
Guys, prepare to all enjoy some time with Donut Lord, because Sonic is here, and it's movie Sonic.
Okay.
Mm.
Yep.
You want to go to Olive
I'll
Garden?
let you boys go. I'll let you boys go because I
This-
think Pup adores this more than anything in the world.
So you know what I'm gonna go ahead and straight up say. I actually think we should actually refrain from talking about what was gonna come from this movie because it's a dead horse at this point. But like, fucking okay, let's talk about movie Sonic. He's a gorgeous boy. He's he's lovely. He's the cutest Sonic I think we've ever had. He's fucking adorable. Although this picture seems more in line with the game one because it's got that sneaky little bastard look on his face.
Wait a minute.
The
Hold
little-
on. There's something with the face here. Okay,
Little
no, he does
shit-eating
have
grin.
the. For a minute there, I thought this particular render
Oh.
for a second had the Una because it almost looked like he has the Una eye. But he
Oh, I
doesn't.
have something to say about that as well. Like, all of this is so fucking clever, in my opinion. All of the way this design has been done is so goddamn clever. Just down to the fact that his quills have little quills on them as well as being furry. He looks fucking soft. I want to give him a goddamn hug. I like the fact that his pupils are bigger compared to the rest of his eyes, which is so much better than what Sega do with that fucking crack addicted looking fucking tiny pin eye Sonic that they have in like Sonic 4, for example. I like how they've reinterpreted the side mouth as it's not fully a side mouth, but it goes up to the side. He's got fucking nostrils. He's got a little dog nose. Like the nose has a little dog nose texture to it. His ears look like cat ears, and they've managed to replicate the uni mono fucking eye thing by having a slight streak of light fur just go up into the bridge of his nose.
Yep.
It's so clever how they've reinterpreted this. Also, his hands and feet are smaller. His head is smaller, as they fucking should be. Sega, goddammit, take some goddamn notes. I will say this, I'd appreciate a richer shade of blue in the future, but yeah, I fucking adore the movie Sonic. I think it's perfect. Except it could be a darker blue.
Yeah, I also absolutely adore this design. I am so happy with the way that they made Sonic look in that movie, and I think part of the reason I enjoy the movie as much as I do is from just how likable I feel like Sonic is in that
Mhm.
film. And a lot of that
Yeah.
comes through with just his design. A big part of it is those eyes, dude. Like his little face goes through so many huge
I
expressions.
want to squish his face.
They needed, like, if you look at this movie, so much of it hinges on Sonic being cute. And they
Yeah.
needed this design to come out the way that it did. And they
Like-
nailed it.
like
Sorry, Comics just said like PS3 controller analog stick nose. That does not look like an analog stick, but it
No,
does
he's-
replicate an actual hedgehog nose. I
Yeah,
think
he's
that's
talking
clever.
about the texture of it. I
The
think. Oh, right,
texture.
yeah.
I mean, so it is a well-known fact that Sega actually, not Sega, that Sony actually uses like just dog noses for the texture for their
I swear to
controllers.
Sony's canceled.
So in
Uh,
the future, if you see me rock up without a nose, you know why.
But
Mm.
yeah, a huge thing for me when it comes to character design is, especially if it's going to be a lead character that you're going to be spending a lot of time with, expressiveness is key and it is paramount. And this design,
Paramount!
I will turn you into the next analog stick texture pup. I swear to God.
Can
Why
we
is
use-
that half of the table so violent? Guys keep threatening violence, and
We're
you
not-
literally
It has
can't.
to, I'm glad I'm sitting next to Nick, who's generally the more calm of the bunch, which is saying something.
Yep.
Nick,
I just don't. So like there was this brief period. Wayne, before he died, was this like calm, collected. I'm the voice of reason. Everybody,
He's
hi.
the straight man. of
I
the
like
bunch.
Sonic Adventure 1, and I'm pretty neat. And then Wayne now is just like, I came back from hell. I can send you there too.
Well, that's because you put him in the pet cemetery, and I kept telling you, you're not gonna like it. He's not gonna come back. It's not the same what comes out.
Once Wayne came back, it completely defeated the entire purpose of his character. And now that he's back, we just got another fucking wackadoodle motherfucker. This show doesn't understand what the fans loved about the original Wayne. And frankly, I'm gonna boycott it.
Do not bury your Waynes on Indian burial grounds.
And then you went and turned my arms blue. Why do you think I always wear a jacket?
Oh, one thing I just want to note. I just want to completely note. Blue arms for life. I'm in the blue arms squad, okay? The reason Sonic had tanned arms in the first place was because the limitations of the hardware, you just wouldn't see his fucking arms if they were blue. And I think now that we're all in 3 dimensions and stuff, now is the right time to give our boy blue arms. So Sega, just a quick note, if you're going to make one quick tweak during the production of Sonic Colors Ultimate, make his fucking arms blue, and then it will definitely be better than the original.
I'll say this. I think the arm situation is very much a Superman's red underwear sort of a deal. Where I'll like full confession, like I've argued for tan arms, and I've just gotten used to them at this point. But like as a kid, I would have much preferred blue arms. But yeah, I don't know. I like this design. It's not my favorite because I still prefer Mono Eye and some other things of that nature, but for being a live action Sonic the Hedgehog, this really works. And this is one of those situations where I was just talking about with like all those different art styles where it's like you know exactly who it is, but you also know that this is a different take on Sonic, and you don't need to over explain it at all. And I really like the shape of his shoes and just the art. I don't know why I like those gloves so much, but he just looks so damn nice.
They're nice
and
and
really good.
They're little mittens. They're so good.
I don't like how he always looks in the movie itself, but the renders at the very least are fantastic. And I think also it might have just been limitations in some aspects where it's like, look, we're just redoing this entire model. We're doing our best here, guys. So I'm very curious to see how he looks when we finally get a trailer dropping for Sonic 2. So I think they'll just keep improving.
The picture that Wayne just posted and the picture that I just posted, because I think it also showcases more of the ingenuity of this design, like seeing his eyes a bit more open and everything. Like, I really like how they handled the eyes. Like, I remember, like, before they revealed the new design, I was like, how are they going to do Sonic's eyes, though? Because they're such a distinct shape, and they made it fucking work with separate eyes, and I was so impressed. Like,
yeah.
I got your next one coming up here in just a second. Dope. Here we go.
I do have, I'm going to go back on something I said earlier. I do have a few things to say about the original movie design.
Okay.
So if you guys want to talk a little about that.
I got him up here. Here he is. Five Nights at Freddy's looking ass.
I think, I don't think it is the nightmare fuel that some folks say it is. I can see that there's a clear inspiration from monkeys here. Like, they gave him kind of more like a monkey anatomy, especially if you see his hands. Those are monkey hands.
Jesus, they're so gross.
And
yeah, gross.
I think it would have grown on people to an extent, but it's definitely better that we did
like
get
a tumor. Jesus.
This would have been one of those arguments, like, this is what I grew up with, this is why I like it, and I did not want to have that fucking conversation with that piece of shit garbage design. Good and dead. Fuck it.
I can see what they were going for, but yeah, it's one of those things where people know what this character is supposed to look like. And the folks that mandated a very realistic design for Sonic clearly didn't understand that. But I will straight up say, I do think that it would have grown on some people in a more positive way. I don't think anyone would have said, oh yeah, it's one of the best Sonic designs, no way. But I think like the whole it's nightmare fuel thing would have died down a little bit, like at the very least.
That's only because people would have been desensitized to it. This is the Sonic that after you take its lunch money, you continue kicking it on the ground until it stops moving.
I wouldn't do that to him, okay? Like, I'd hear him out, like, okay, he's a little weird looking, but you know what, I'm not gonna... Am I the only one here that doesn't want to violently abuse people that don't meet my standards for appearance? This is a shallow world we live in, jeez.
I don't know. Even after however long it's been, because it's been almost, what, like 2 years since this movie came out? I don't know how long it's been.
It
I still
released,
go back and
it released early last year.
I still go back and I look at like it wasn't last year. It had to have been. Wait, was it last year? It was
Yeah.
last year. No,
It was
you are completely
February.
right. Yeah.
They did a whole like Sonic for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I still look at like images from the original trailer, and I look at that old model, and in every single frame he looks in, it just looks bad. It is disgusting.
I'm just gonna say, I think in some shots it looked better than others. Like some shots, I thought it looked fucking diabolically awful. In other shots, not so
Well,
much.
monkeys and typewriters, pup.
Can I not
Are-
just? Can I
are-
not speak without your mockery? Without like this shot here that I'm just gonna get up right now. I would call this an acceptable look at the original movie Sonic. This shot here, it looks a little bit like something out of Detective Pikachu, but not as good.
So
It
I'll-
looks genuinely unsettling. I really hate that thing.
I will pull up that Sonic real quick, and then after that, we do need to give our rankings, and then go through our super chats, read our
We'll
rankings.
go through our rankings real quick as well. We'll just go around the table 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, etc.
I will say that no, that version of Sonic still doesn't look good to me because that doesn't look like an interdimensional hedgehog. That looks like a mutated child.
I just think it looks like a weird fucking evolved. I just think it looks like a weird evolved monkey. That's just how I see it. And I don't hate monkeys. I like monkeys.
I
So
fucking hate monkeys.
Why do you hate monkeys?
Monkeys made
I don't
human
like 'em.
beings. Get them out of here.
No,
They
monkeys.
they're too
monkeys are
uncomfortably close to
great.
human beings with bad teeth and about
Yeah, but
just don't like monkeys.
monkeys are better at democracy than humans.
No, they're not. What are you talking about? Chimpanzees are the worst animal on the planet.
I have not met a single Republican monkey in my entire life. Okay.
Okay, let's go back over super chats.
Oh
Let's
my
let's
God.
talk super chats that we've gone over.
Okay, so
Okay.
we have one from Zudiken for $5. Next Wayne will be covered in tape.
I mean, it is possible. Don't rule it out.
Yeah,
and
Wayne,
then-
I'm gonna cover you in tape and I'm gonna fuck your brains out.
Oh no.
I just had to my brain just fried there for a minute, and yeah, the Knuckles "oh no" played in my head a couple times, and that's all it was. And then we have one from Dragon Blur 57. I guess Wayne really has become Wallace.
about
Yes,
that.
the return to the Wallace meme.
God damn it! I forgot about Wallace.
It only stood out to me because it just tickled Pup so much. Like his enjoyment of it made me enjoy it.
Jeez.
Wallace.
Well, you know what that means.
More cheese, Gromit.
I'm sorry, Wayne. You
Sonic
gotta
is the
go.
political. He wasn't an eco-terrorist at the start of his. No, you're right.
He
He's
was
literally
not
part of the freedom fight. Nothing political going on there.
No, not at all.
nothing.
Oh, politics don't exist in video games.
Yep.
Politics just don't exist straight up. Fingers in ears, la 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 la.
Nope.
You can't make me feel bad.
Also, thank you, Sonic, earlier for giving us a super chat. We just mock you.
We're
The
just memeing,
DS,
don't worry.
$9.99 pays good money to make it happen.
Oh
Thanks, Deox.
dear. So here,
Jeez.
Get the toilet paper!
oh my God. Welcome to the tombstone, Wayne. We have to replace you.
Okay.
That
We're just gonna start a fetish site where we just wrap people in toilet paper. That's got to be a kink, right?
Yeah, let me just go ahead and drill a hole in that tombstone real quick.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, let's go through our rankings here. So let's start
Okay,
out
so
chronologically.
start with Wayne. Start with Wayne, and then go Suris. Then
Okay.
Nick, then
Okay.
Nick.
Sure.
Do I start from number 10 and go up to my favorite, or do I
Well,
start at my favorite
fucking
and go down?
You start with your bottom one, you dink.
Okay. No. Okay. So number 10 for me is the 90s 3D renders. I don't care for them. I gotta be honest. I do want to stress that I don't hate any of these designs that I'm about to list. There's just some I like more than others. But yeah, the 90s 3D designs like Sonic 3D Blast on the menu screen, stuff like that. I'm not into it. Early CGI. I ended up moving this around
No,
while we were
no,
talking about it.
No. It goes 10, 10, 10 around the table. We now do Suris' number
what?
10.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize we were
I
doing
feel
it
like
that
it'd be
way.
less confusing if we just do our full list,
Let's
right?
just do our
Yeah,
full
we-
list.
If we do it all at once, otherwise we're gonna forget what
Yeah, let's do
what
the
everybody's
full
ranking
list.
even was.
Oh, okay, fine. That wasn't what I had
Yeah.
in mind, but okay. Fair
Uh, but yeah, number 9, early CGI. I changed my mind halfway through this podcast because we started talking about what that meant, and then I was looking at that Sonic Adventure DX render, and I was just like, yeah, I can live without that. Then it would be. I'm sorry, Nick. Again, I don't hate this. The USA Sonic, from like Sonic 1. Again, I get where they were going. I just think it fumbled on the execution. Number 7 would be modern, mostly just because I feel like it's keeping everything stuck in a place, and it's more the principle of the matter. 6 is Boom Sonic. I like Boom Sonic. I think it's a cool design. I don't even mind the brown scarf. I think it works with the environment he's in. Number 5 would be 06. I like him better in the pre-rendered cutscenes than I do in engine, but I still think it's a pretty good model. 4 would be Movie Sonic. Love that little goofball. He looks great. 3 would be Japanese original box art Sonic. 2 is 2000s art Sonic, because holy crap, the experimentation and the creativity went in so many directions, and I absolutely live for that. And then number 1 is the objective best one. Don't at me. Toei and Mania Sonic for the win.
Okay.
Okay.
Suris, your turn.
So the bottom of the barrel for me is Mohawk Sonic. USA Sonic is just, that is my Sonic low point. I get an uncanny cringe feeling every time he turns his head, and I just can't. He's okay in still images, but I don't want still image Sonic. I want Sonic doing shit. I want Sonic in motion, and when that Sonic's in motion, I kind of want to hurl. 90s 3D Sonic is my number 9. I may have grown up with those renders, and I enjoyed 3D Blast as a kid, but like they just look gross to me now. And God, I'm gonna be hated for this one, especially by Pup. But my number 8 is Boom. I feel like if you subtract a lot of the added elements to Boom, it goes higher on my list. But if you just take Boom Sonic as he is, he's number 8 for me. And then number 7 for me would be Modern. It's not that I hate the design itself. I've said it a bunch of times during the podcast. I just think the principle of the matter, the fact that they're not doing anything with it, that model has been soured on me for those reasons. I don't hate it. I just really don't want more of that. My number 6 is the early CGI stuff from Sonic Adventure DX. I like it when it's in motion. I like it when we're seeing like that, like the cutscene in the Space Colony arc when Sonic is like sitting on one of the little antennae at the bottom of it as everything's exploding. Like, he looks fine and stuff like that, but I don't like him in still images. My number 5 is Movie Sonic. I'm gonna be honest, I actually had him lower on my list before starting this show, and the more I looked at that design and renders, the more I went, no, actually, I like this design. I like what this is doing. My number 4 is actually 06. I don't hate the 06 design, and 06 was a horrible game to me when I was younger. As an adult, when I look back at 06, I see a more ambitious game, and I think that's probably colored my idea of the models in that game. I wish they were animated better, and we can see in cutscenes in that game those models can be animated very, very well. But it doesn't have the same sour taste to me that like the modern model does, despite the exact same argument being able to be made for it. My number 3 is the Japanese Sonic, the first kind of Sonic that we ever got. I really, really, really like the sensibilities of that Sonic, but I do think that Toei Sonic is just better. Toei Sonic takes everything from Japanese Sonic design and just gives it that extra attitude, gives it more angulature, gives it more ability to look good in motion, and I'm just always happy whenever I see Toy Sonic in motion in whatever medium we see it. And I'm probably actually going to go watch the Sonic OVA again after this episode. But my number one, more than anything, is the 2000s art, the Sonic Adventure, Sonic Advance era artwork, because not only do I want to see that artwork in motion, not only do I want to see that artwork doing stuff, it does something that so many of the different Sonic renders don't do, and that is it looks good in still images. It looks like it's captured in a moment of motion, whereas so many of the other Sonic images, when you put them in still frame, they just lose a lot of their luster that's there when they're in motion. And I think the 2000s art manages to get all of that motion in still image. So it ranks as my number one.
Okay. Is everything okay over on your end there, Suris?
We have a friend who just came over, and I imagine they're either playing Magic or League of Legends, and either way, they're probably screaming.
Nice.
Okay.
You're up, Nick.
Bluntly, just for you guys, I did not have a list going in at all, and I do have more of an appreciation for some of these designs since we started talking about it. So I don't know, man. Like every one of these I'm gonna list. I could shift this at any given day, just depending on how I'm feeling. So I think I'm probably gonna have to start with early 3D Sonic at the bottom, just because there's nothing to really talk about with him. Like again, like I didn't really feel like he should have been a part of this list, and since there's nothing to really talk about in terms of that, it's just old chunky graphics at this point, so it's whatever. So that's at the bottom. Next, I'm probably, and it's just because I can't disassociate it from what it was, and that's going to be '06 Sonic. I think they already had the design down at this point, and they didn't really need to do much else with it. I think the renders are pretty damn good. I think the models are garbage. After that, probably Sonic. Again, I like more of him now just because we're talking about him. And I really could see that design going somewhere, but just in motion, the joints were a little bit weird for me. And again, he's a little bit too lanky. And again, just doesn't feel like it makes sense. But if they just gone a little bit forward or done a couple things differently, I think that really could have stood out. But as it is, it's whatever, and I don't really need to see it back. It's just excessive in its design. After that's going to be Buzzsaw Sonic. I like it simply for nostalgia, and that's simply from just those cover arts. But I can tell you, as a child, I fucking hated that look. It drove me crazy. And it's just not what I want Sonic to be. And what number are we at? Is that 5? Are we just kind of right in the middle of 5 right now? I think so, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So after that, it's I'm probably just gonna do early CGI Sonic. I don't like the renders, but he looks fantastic in motion. And then I'd probably just put, who is after that? Who am I missing? You know, I'm lying. Modern Sonic goes there first. He's that forgettable. Like he's middle of the road. That's what it is. I think he works well when given the proper people to put him together, but those hands are too big, and he's just kind of there. And then I'd put early CGI Sonic up after him because again, he looks fantastic in motion. And then after that is going to be the actual 2000s art. I think they went a little bit too far in terms of like being expressive, but they kind of toned it down and brought it together as the games progressed. And it's a really cool design. When I tend to draw Sonic, I tend to draw that lean design that the modern look has, and it started with that. I think his proportions are really good. And I think that that was my number 3, right? Pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah. After that's gonna be Toei Sonic. I think it looks good in animation. I don't really like the muted colors a lot. I think he's a bit too teal for my liking. But I mean, it's like everyone else has said already, he just looks fantastic in general for the proportions and the movement and everything else. My number 1's gonna be the original Japanese design. it set. No, oh my god, movie Sonic. Movie Sonic is going to be right below Toei for me. I think he works well for the medium he's presented in. I think they solved a lot of interesting live action problems. Would that be what I want to be like my core Sonic design? Probably not. But I really like his silhouette. I really like how those shoes look in his arms, and it looks really good. It's a really good live action Sonic. Then would be Toei, and then be classic would be my tippy top, which is they just nailed it out of the gate for me. That's what I know Sonic to be. And that's always what Sonic's going to be to me. This is just it's perfection. It's timeless. It is everything I'd like. I like modern Sonic because I want to see a different interpretation of this guy. I like movie Sonic because I want a different interpretation of this guy. But at the end of the day, this is Sonic the Hedgehog. This is what I know him to be. This is what I will always know him to be. So the original is my number one.
Okay. So now for my rank. So in number 10, we have the early 2000s CGI, aka Sonic Adventure DX design. This guy is just kind of a stranger to me. I don't really have any strong feelings either way. Yeah, I just don't really know the guy. In ninth, we have the 90s 3D Sonic, who is a pleasant acquaintance to pass by on the streets. He'll say hello and stuff, but I don't really know the guy very well. So he's pleasant, but nah. Eighth place, we have 06, who I dated briefly, but he proved to be a little on the problematic side, had some pretty primitive attitudes towards LGBTQ and
Oh my God.
minorities. So we kind of cut it off there, but yeah, it was kind of fun while it lasted, I guess. In seventh place, we have Modern Sonic. He's kind of an old friend of mine, and he's someone that we had many adventures with. But now when I meet him, it feels kind of obligatory. We don't have much to say to each other, so there's just nothing new with this guy.
Pup has literally fucked every one of these Sonics.
Oh, he's been ready for this. Oh, I'm so glad he went last.
Sixth place, we've got Boom Sonic, who I had a summer fling with, and let me just say, the guy's cock is huge. I fucking love that guy. But as I say, it was a short-lived thing. He went missing. I don't know where he is nowadays, but I hope he's doing all right. In fifth place, we have the Japanese classic Sonic, which was my first long-term relationship. And it was good. It was fulfilling, but it ran its course. And we're still friends, but the love isn't quite there as present as it used to be. In fourth place, we have the USA Greg Martin Sonic. He's a little fucking ugly, but we had an unexpectedly fulfilling long-term relationship, and he's generous. He's a giving type of person, and I really appreciate the guy. In third place, we have the 2000s art, and I've never met someone more sexually compatible with me. We fucked like rabbits. We almost married. I just thought I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and truth be told, that's awesome. But you know, like. It's got to be said, there's more to relationships than just sex. So, second place, we have Movie Sonic. And let me just say, Movie Sonic is literally my son. So, no, I didn't fuck him, but I love him a lot. He means the world to me. I'd protect him with all of my might. I love him. And in first place, we have my literal soulmate, the Toei Sonic. And that's my rank.
Man. So... I think it goes to say that if we balanced it all out, I'm just going with Pup and Wayne. I think if we had to have an official Sonic for the Sunset City podcast, I think Junio wins out, doesn't it? If we had to do that, I mean, we all have our own individual favorites, but
we all ranked Toy Sonic significantly high.
Right.
All of us did.
Unanimously, we all love Toei Sonic.
Yup.
Yeah. That's a good list. I gotta be honest with you guys. Like when you first threw this idea out there, I was like, I don't really know if I have much to say. It's like, yeah, it's a little different here and there, but I mean, I'm a fucking artist, man. Like these little nuanced details do matter to me, and I don't think I would have realized that without this conversation. This has been a lot of fun. I went into this expecting movie Sonic to be much lower. It was just in my dismissive mind, it was like, okay, it's fine for live action, but that's all it's good for. But I kind of forgot like how like the first time I saw it, when we saw that re-release, I was like, I really like this. I really like those shoes, like these little details. I really like this. Boom Sonic. I didn't make that connection for post-apocalyptic Sonic the Hedgehog until we started talking about it. And I was like, that kind of, yeah, that'd be like if Sonic was doing Mad Max kind of shit. That's what I see with this guy here. And I guess I just saw the potential of him a little bit more. I think ultimately what it is just doesn't do it for me, but I think I appreciate him a little bit more after this conversation. So this was really cool. Lego Sonic is Lego Sonic. Fantastic.
Lego my Lego Sonic.
I did want to mention this was a great conversation. This was fantastic. But I did want to just go ahead and hit these last super chats real quick before we send off. So Super Tactic Pro, $5. Thank you very much. Movie Sonic looks good in the movies. Outside of that, he looks weird. Looking at Sonic Dash Forces model, I will agree with you there.
I will agree.
Yeah. Again, he works perfectly for the medium that he's in, but outside of that, it's a little odd. Deox with $5. Nick, that is a fetish. I'm assuming.
Wow.
Bandages.
Just wow.
And
guess there's something for everybody out there.
And finally, Sonic Bot with $5. Thank you kindly. And it just says Zeddy Yeti.
Fantastic.
God damn it.
The Zeddy Yeti's the new bees.
As a pup, are you just chatting in there? Shut up, sir. You're both just going nuts.
Because Suris is just thinking he's clever, and I'm just,
I think it's interesting. Good Game said Minecraft Sonic. There's literally 2 different versions of Minecraft Sonic.
Yeah.
What's interesting, I'm going to talk about it in the... Have you seen any of this, pup?
What, the new Minecraft one?
Yeah.
It was the Hive. Yeah. It looks kind of interesting. That definitely not making any connections there. But like
he is classic, like Greg Martin Sonic. He's got sprite quills.
Wait, hang on. What? Let me double check that then. Minecraft
Hive Sonic. Yeah.
Sonic.
Zeddy Supremacy. Thank you, Sonny. You've been
wow, you really do be the Greg Martin Sonic.
It really is, man. And like those designs exist next to each other. I played a little bit of that yesterday. Or maybe it was 2 days ago. I don't remember anymore.
Man, but, Minecraft have really put out a whole ass buffet for Sonic's 30th anniversary.
They really
it's so
have.
disgusting, but like it's a buffet nevertheless.
Holy crap. Guys, we really genuinely forgot that as a little bit of news. There is currently, if you guys have Minecraft, you have a whole other server, the Hive server, that's doing a Sonic sort of thing. You don't need to buy the Sonic DLC. You don't need to do any of that. If you own the base game and you can get into the Bedrock game, you can get into that server and just dick around in there. Again, I'd say you have to be like a fan of Minecraft to really appreciate it. It's kind of cool. And poor Chowmix, yeah. Minecraft Sonic F tier broke my computer. I can never forgive him.
I can never forgive what he's done.
Yeah.
Sonny says Zeti supremacy. Thank you, Sonny. But I think you mean Yeti supremacy.
God, fuck all of you.
Not according to
that one ain't going anywhere.
So, am I doing the outro this time, given that I did the intro?
Sure.
Okay, so going around the table, we had Wayne from WayneIsBoss. You can find him at WayneIsBoss on most of his social media feeds, including YouTube, where he uploads some terrific content and some really great Zelda content. So any Zelda fans out there, watch the shit out of those videos and be sure to share them with your Zelda friends. Wayne, you got anything else you want to say?
I guess Zelda is kind of the main thing I'm working on right now. I'm actually later today going to go ahead and go pick up Skyward Sword HD just so I can go ahead and get like a short video out, just kind of like just sharing my off the cuff opinions of the remaster, and is it worth your $60 to go ahead and buy this game again now? I really want to go ahead and just get my thoughts in on that. Plus I'm getting those Joy-Cons today, so I'm excited.
They are cute Joy-Cons.
Oh, they're so pretty.
So, Suris, aside from your rough transition to 3D as a VTuber, what's going on with you these days?
Well, literally, there are upgrades happening to my 3D model, so like that's You say that, but that's literally there's like a 14-point list I was sent from Bon Bon Berry, who's the one working on my 3D stuff. So
You know how I am. 2D women are better as far as I'm concerned.
I've got upgrades for
2D
the
women
2D
don't
model
need
coming
you.
as well. Don't worry.
I'm just imagining
nice.
Suris in the background, like, ha! Watch
Suris
as these
Mania.
breeds expand, Sonic!
God damn it. God damn it.
Damn it. I missed that Robotnik now. Anyways,
Oh,
aside from that, I have a laundry list of projects that I'm going into right now, but they're all the same kind of like, this is the thing I'm responding to type of things. I do have I was mailed not only the Anime Exposed DVD, so I can finally continue that series for those who are dealing with that nonsense. I was also mailed another DVD from the same propaganda agency. It's in Spanish. Hold on, I've got it right here. But it's a documentary, read propaganda, called Control One. Apparently, it is they're trying to say that video games are controlling the youth when they should be reading their Bibles instead. I'm not going to go very much further into it than that, but yeah, I'm apparently going to be reviewing this little bit of propaganda telling us not to play video games as well, because apparently Jack Thompson never fucking died.
very interesting. Check it out, guys. Go over to Suris's channel. And yeah, the usual social media feeds as well. You're always called Suris, right?
Sometimes. Yes.
There you have it. And then, of course, we have Nick. So, what arousing, busty comic book characters are you talking about over on your channel recently?
It's funny you should mention that because Rouge did show back up in Sonic Speed Reading. I just it was out a couple days for patrons. The latest episode of Sonic Speed Reading is now out as of this morning. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I would definitely appreciate if you did. We have the rest of the Metal Virus stuff finally pre-recorded. You have 2 more weeks of Metal Virus coverage. And after that, we're going to do a couple of video games, which is long overdue. I just finished up my Minecraft script, so that'll be coming out next week. And yeah, I also just updated my tiers for Patreon. So if you are a patron member, be sure you get that updated. If you're not, we're going to be doing more Q&A sessions, monthly Q&A sessions, watch-along parties, game stuff on that nature. Yesterday, me and just a couple of patrons watched Space Jam 2. And it wasn't bad. I gotta admit, that was a pretty solid movie, all things considered. I thought it was gonna be way worse than what it was. But just remember, it's Space Jam. So go along those levels of quality. So yeah, Game Apologist at YouTube is the main thing. I'm doing Twitch later today. All that other stuff. You know where to find me. Just look up Game Apologist.
All right, and on my end, you always know who to look up. It's always Channel Pup wherever you go, unless it's on Instagram where it's totally not Channel Pup. But as it is, I'm currently working on a retrospective playing through the handheld Nintendo DS Sonic games. I've just covered Sonic Rush recently. I will be covering Sonic Rush Adventure next. And for non-Sonic stuff, I'll be covering the Loki series quite soon. Just give my thoughts on that. And the latest updates and speculation for Spider-Man No Way Home. So you know where to go for your fix of that shit. So yeah, is everybody happy to end it here? Shall I play us out?
Yeah, I think we're good. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
No, it
thank
was a
you as
good
always
time.
to everyone that showed up. Thank you for all the kind donations, everybody. You guys are the sexiest people on the planet, provided that you're over the age of consent. Otherwise, ignore that. Yeah, so that's it then. Once again, the sun has finally set on Sunset City. Thank you for watching, guys.